We're live.
Hello and welcome to the 370th episode of the Unranked podcast. This is Christian Hughes and we have Tom Caswell.
Hello, hello.
And soon to hopefully be joining us will be Alex Tuna Marinello.
He'd better be joining us soon because you have to go relatively soon. So
yeah, about an hour. About an hour.
So he has 50-ish minutes to show up. Hopefully it's earlier than that.
Well, then why don't we just get into it, Tom?
Oh boy, what Pokemon do we have this week?
Great question. The 370th Pokemon. It's the last lane Pokemon. Everything else belongs to a great evolutionary line or it's a great Pokemon. Today's Pokemon does not evolve. It is not known to evolve into any other form of Pokemon. It is not known to be a very good Pokemon. It is Luvdisc.
Yep.
Like last week, single stage, no evolution Pokemon, straight water type.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it the fact that it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
A little fun. It is the shape, and this is based off a real fish. This is based off of a fish found in nature. In fact, if we go down to the trivs, Luvdisc is based on the discus fish and some other species of fish that appear to kiss each other, such as the kissing gourami. Yeah, so this, you've seen this. So it's fun. It's more fun than Relicanth or whatever it was last week. Although this is just a straight water type, and it's got nothing fun about it other than its design.
Right.
It really is just plain Jane.
I mean, arguably, this is considered to be, if not the, because I don't know where it stands with the latest gen or so, but at the time, and honestly up until like Gen 7 or so, the weakest Pokemon in the game. So it is sort of the most, it's considered to be essentially the most useless Pokemon.
Because it's kind of like Magikarp without the ability to become Gyarados.
Yep. Stat-wise, it's like a total piece of shit.
Yep.
Not a good Pokemon. But then right after, it's just like we have 15 weeks left in this region before this generation ends. That's it. 15 more weeks and we're out. Every Pokemon after this is either part of a strong evolutionary line, which there's just 2 of, and everything else is like a legendary or a pseudo-legendary or a mythical Pokemon. A lot of good shit coming.
I'm skimming through. I'm interested to talk about next week's because, we'll see with a bag on. A little tease, a little spoiler for next week. But yeah, it is like that, and then we've got another line, and then it's like legendary. After that, I feel like Gen 3 is when they started going nuts a little bit with the legendaries and like introducing legendaries like down the line. Like all the Reggies, were they a part of Gen 3 from the jump? I remember them kind of being like a later addition, like maybe an Emerald. Emerald, I believe they were. These. Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3. Like you have the three legendary trios. You have both of the endgame legendaries, and then you have Latios and Latias, which don't even, I think, have a comparable. It's even more than you get in Gen 2, and so this is when they started going a little nuts with the legendaries every gen.
I mean, I think this is when they started to solve the legendaries, because the problem with the legendaries is their stats are so good that it was like, oh, well, everyone's going to put like a Mewtwo on their team or like, one of the birds or one of the dogs. And so now it's like, okay, let's introduce a lot more legendaries so the pool of high stat Pokemon is much greater to choose from. It's like now there's like 50 Pokemon that, are considered to be like legendary or pseudo legendary, possibly even higher than that. But that means that you can have so many people who have teams of Pokemon that are all these like incredibly rare, superpowered Pokemon. None of them, will have a repeat, right? So, I mean, in a way, it's good that they've done it because although it makes them a little less special, from a gameplay mechanic, it's smart. right? Because otherwise, it's like, what do we want? Everybody rolling around with teams of birds and starters or dogs and starters, and that's it. You know, you got a Mewtwo in there, you got a Celebi in there. We gotta throw something else, right? Can't just be Lugias and Hoes and
It can't be
all them bitches.
fucking loogies.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Right?
Luvdisc, just
Don't love it.
piss in the wind.
More like leave it disc.
Leave
Love it or
it
leave
disc.
it disc.
Love it
I'm
or
gonna
leave
go
it
leave
disc.
it.
Leave it disc. Like
Leave it
that
disc.
a lot.
Tom.
Yes.
Tom, what's going on?
Not much. The Mario movie came out. We'll talk about that. Hopefully Tuna can get on for us to talk about Mario movie because he hasn't seen it. The plan was that we were going to go see it Easter Monday. And then Brooke didn't have off work, and then it turned out I didn't have off work either, which was surprising.
Right.
And so we ended up going to see it. Tuna's just going to do stuff with the fam, and Tuna just said that he was going to wait until it was on home, demand or whatever. But so it ended up seeing that. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Wow, that's such a specific thing to like, because you can't see it, because he can't see it within opening week. He's gonna wait over a month instead of just going on another time.
Yeah, I think he's just coming with an excuse to not. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have been working for like in my free time on. We are very soon going to start up a little Avatar tabletop adventure.
Yes, you're announcing that now.
Yeah, a soft announcement.
All right,
as
the
we'll
floor
say.
is yours.
It'll be the plan is there's an Avatar Dungeons and Dragons-esque, right, tabletop
The Last
RPG
Airbender
experience. Yes, it is a Last Airbender Legend of Korra thing, not the Blue Monkeys.
Because there's definitely Avatar tabletop.
Sure. Yes.
Aren't they cats?
I think people generally refer to them as monkeys.
Oh, I've always heard them as the blue cat people.
They've got a little bit of both in there.
They've got the cat ears.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a mix of both.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I think swinging through the jungle and all that jazz in the first one, especially. Yeah, so it's not based on that. It's based on Avatar: The Last Airbender, which we are all huge fans of here on the pod. I would say, actually, I don't know where Dan stands on it, but I would say we universally all adore that show. And it's something that like I finally, after like 2 years of ordering it on the Kickstarter, like all the stuff came in February, and I was like, it'll probably take me all of February to go through in order to build something for March, and then before you know it, it's April. Before you know it, it's April. And what happened is like I was like, I really need to like finish this out. And so on Saturday, Sunday, any free time I had, I was just like absorbing that. The intention is so the people that are going to be playing are Chris and Tuna, and then Brooke as well is going to be participating. And they are currently in the stage of building out their characters. Once we do that, we will have kind of a offline session that is going to be me explaining the rules to them and us doing a little bit of a prologue one shot to the campaign that I have planned, and just kind of seeing if it's even something that we enjoy to the point where we can commit, every week or every other week, sitting down and playing. And the intention being, hopefully, if things work out, to replace one of my regular streaming nights with that, so that it doesn't take up another slot, and Sunday nights feel like they might be best for everyone or whatever. We shall see what will happen there, but that is the intention, so stay tuned for that. And I totally plan to like play way more games. I totally plan to play more Resident Evil 4 and play more Tchia and all these things, and I just spent
so you barely play. You didn't play fuck all since last time.
I really haven't. The only thing I've played is something for work.
Okay.
So I haven't, and then a little bit of Destiny here and there, but even that has fallen off a little bit, as well. So, and then we played VR.
Yes,
multiplayer.
We played more VR.
We did more Pavlov, which was a ton of fun.
Yes.
we played more of the Sea Smash, which we discovered in.
Yep.
This is the one we played. We talked about last week, but it is a VR game that is a mix of Breakout and like tennis. And we were playing last week, and I was just losing every match. Like Chris was just absolutely destroying me, and then we tried to play it again. I was like, I don't know, man. Like it's just not hitting as it should. And then we did it where we switched, where I was host for the game, and Chris was having all of the same issues that I was having of when he was going to swing it, it wasn't connecting. And I ended up winning. I think I won every game that on when we flipped, and then we flipped back. And then I was like, oh my God, now it's very apparent to me after having played it in where it's working where it should, that it isn't working. They have put out a patch, or are going to put out a patch they announced for
It's
it.
out.
Addressing that, and I think a bunch of other
it improved tracking, period.
Right.
So that was part of the issue.
Yeah.
But it also supposedly fixed the multiplayer lag hosting issue, and it took it from 60 frames for projected 120 to 90. Yeah. So it's like it's going to be running at a higher frame rate. So the tracking is not only improved, but also there's 50% more information that it's tracking on top of that. So I mean, everything according to that, and people on Reddit being like, "Oh, we don't have the host problem anymore." Like people are like, "Oh, I was able to play my friend. I was able to win when I wasn't host." I'm like, "Okay, great,
cool." Well, we'll have to get back into that because it's a lot of fun when
because when we swapped hosts, I couldn't beat you, but I did give you a run for your money. I felt like Goku training in the in like the gravity.
Yeah, and then when we switched back, like you absolutely destroyed me. Like I think I got like 2 or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, because I felt like I was like Piccolo. Like I showed up to the fight, and I'm like, hold on, let me drop these weights. And I like, you drop the clothes, and it's like, oh yeah, I was wearing 1,000 pounds during that last match. It was awesome. That was so much fun. Man, Pavlov, by the way, love Tom. I loved playing that game, especially when we got to play it together. I got to play some more on my own so that when we play together, we can do better. Because we tried the co-op with the zombies, and
the zombie co-op is nuts.
Yeah, we would just get dominated. It's very hard, very like ammo shy the whole time. It is that is a tough experience.
But once you get into the groove though, and playing Pavlov made me realize how much it is about like trusting the system.
Sure.
So like I got very quick in those ladder matches at like swapping ammo, of just instinctively like pulling out the cartridge.
Yes.
Instead of like trying to be precise about it, like quickly being able to grab it from, pull the cartridge out of the gun,
and then we just started being like, oh, I'm going to hold my spare ammo cartridge in my left hand when I only have one gun. So the second it's done, you can just eject the cartridge and snap it in.
If you have a pistol, because if you have like an AK or something, you have to like actually remove the previous one.
Yeah,
but the pistol is you just press an eject button. You just press circle and ejects.
Yeah,
and it's fun. Like there's the revolver, which is when you want to refill it, you have to bullet by bullet, like, and then you snap the you flick the wrist, and then the barrel goes back into the gun, which is so much fun to do. But when you're getting chased by zombies, it is definitely not the ideal weapon to pick. So if you do pick up Pavlov in your VR, whatever VR you're doing, I recommend in the zombies mode never grabbing the revolver. Not the best gun to play with. But I continue to have like such a blast especially when it's like playing with someone else and being in that environment. So having a ton of fun with the VR.
We've got Tuna here. I'm gonna let him in.
Oh, great. Tuna, 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 tuna.
Whoa, look at that hair.
Tuna's looking like
hear you.
You know what Tuna's looking like while he can't hear us? Have you seen the movie Accepted with Justin Long?
I have. I think that
I love
movie
that
was
movie.
hilarious. I haven't seen it in
Fantastic
a very
film.
long time.
Do you know the
Very funny at the
actor,
time.
the famous comedic actor who plays like the old like guy who like
Yeah.
pretends to be their
Louis Black.
professor? And yes, Tuna looks
He
like
does
him
look
with
a
his
little
hair
bit
right
like
now.
yeah. He's got a little Louis Black going. He's
got
also
a
kind of
Louis
got
Black.
he's got the Louis Black attitude a little bit.
You got some Louis Black attitude. You know
He doesn't
about
have
Louis
he doesn't
Black?
have the rage. But
Do
he
I
has...
know about Lewis Black? Been watching Lewis Black before you could fucking read.
He's much more of a Maniscalco fan these days, though.
Who is?
You.
Oh no, I'm off that train too.
You're off that train. What
His
happened to
new
that train?
His new stuff's terrible. His
Is
new
this-
specials are so boring.
Is this the guy who is in this movie with Robert De Niro coming out?
No, he's
It's
in
like-
this movie with Chris Pratt called Mario movie.
So he's in that. Yeah, he's also in this
Yeah, he
Robert De
plays
Niro thing.
Spike.
What's his name? Sebastian, right?
Sebastian Maniscalco, yeah.
Sebastian Maniscalco, yeah. He had a special that was very funny in Netflix. We went to see him live, also very funny.
Interesting.
Mhm.
But his recent Netflix or whatever, his recent specials just
Gone down the
not
toilet.
funny. Just
It's
not
so-
funny.
It's
Just
so
a big
funny.
wet fart.
So
Yeah.
when we went to go see the Mario movie, a trailer played beforehand, at least for us, that was a new movie he is in that is very much Meet the Parents, it feels, because Robert De Niro plays his dad and he goes to visit his wife's parents who are like holistic, very open, free, Meet the Fockers, right? Dustin Hoffman and Barbara Streisand play these like kind of like free loving folks.
Yeah, we know the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So he's in a movie like that, and it was like it came up and it was like from mega popular comedian Sebastian Maniscalco. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I've never seen him in my life. And then his name appears in the credits of the Mario movie, and I'm like, did the universe just invent this guy? Is this a glitch in the Matrix where this guy like
Yeah,
I've never seen him, never heard of him once, and now he's in everything.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, Tom. I think you're in the very small minority of people who don't know who he is.
Well, there we go.
I think
I
he's
do.
more of like a Gen X guy, though. I think like there might be an age gap to the audience here for Tom.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, look, he's got Netflix specials. Like the fact that I have never heard of his name or
Who doesn't have a Netflix
recognize
special
his
at this point,
face.
Tom?
Yeah,
Side
I
us.
don't
No,
know.
I think it's.
Granted, it says he has supporting acting roles in the films The Green Book and The Irishman, neither of which I've seen, so I wouldn't see him from a movie. Oh, he was in Tag. He played the pastor. I did see that film. He was in the Nut Job 2 Nutty by Nature.
Welcome to IMDb with Tom Caswell.
Yeah, so there you go. So anyway, I didn't know that this guy was a thing, but he's yeah.
All right, Alex, I'm back on board with you now.
Okay.
I tried to give him benefit of the doubt here.
I'm
but...
very surprised. I really. Yeah, he's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it.
I don't. I
Movie.
I think his stock is going down. I wouldn't invest in him anymore. I think he's just not. I think he had like a. You know what it
on
is?
a buy,
He had
hold,
a
sell
very-
here. You're selling.
He had a very Jerry Seinfeld-esque shtick.
Mm-hmm.
But even more complaining about the mundane things about life and how annoying people can be, which was right on point.
Yeah, right up your alley.
Right up my alley, which like his first two specials were hysterical. Recently though, it's just not hitting. It's just either stale or I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. Now, who did do I went to go see, I know it's been a while since I was on the podcast. I don't know if I've talked about this, but I went to go see Jerry Seinfeld live.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't hear
at the
this.
Beacon with one of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And he was fucking hysterical. I mean, he was hysterical. Like
I don't know if you know this, but he's one of the most popular comedians of all time.
Don't know about it.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Just like in the same way I didn't know about Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah.
You'd
See,
like
now
this show called Seinfeld, I think, that he is in.
See this joke you're trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
Don't think it's hitting.
I think it's hitting.
No, I don't think it's hitting.
I think I can get my Netflix
No, I don't think.
special.
No, I don't. No, I think everyone. Yeah, I think you get major crickets
No.
from. Yeah,
No.
the listeners are rolling their eyes at that one. They're like, "Yeah, Tom, we get it. You want to say like, oh, Jerry Seinfeld, never heard of
Tuna
this guy."
says this about any joke.
So
Tuna's defense
also not
for
true.
any joke at his expense
Not true.
is that he will
This wasn't
try
at
to be like,
my
this isn't
expense.
funny.
This wasn't
Yeah.
a my expense
It
joke.
wasn't my expense joke.
No, it wasn't.
It was your expense joke, and when you do this, you go on the defensive and you do
No.
everything to be
No.
like, this is just not funny.
It isn't
It's not
funny.
funny.
It's not. It wasn't good.
You are very effective at disarming humor.
It was not good.
Chris is pointing that toilet twirl at you there.
We got to get off this track. You two are just gonna keep going back and forth. We got
Right. Okay. So Jerry Seinfeld, right? Don't know if you
Yeah.
heard about him. Don't know if you heard about him.
You
so
just
Jerry,
know my joke.
So Jerry Seinfeld.
But now it's funny though.
Now it's funny though.
You have a laugh. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's like
the audiences.
It's like the Big Bang Theory. So Jerry Seinfeld, I mean, he talked about raisins, like that, and it was just like I was laughing and the best part about Jerry Seinfeld, okay,
Yep.
does not bring in one political comment, does not bring in one like iota
Till the end
of
his
current
career,
events.
probably.
You know what I mean? Like it is like it was just nice to hear his humor, which is so like stupid because it's just the mundane of your life. And
Sure.
it's, you know, and it is
podcast.
everything that he says. I'm always like, yep, that's true. He did a whole bit about
On
how
raisins.
you get on the train to go into the city, but you get in a car but you're on Long Island, but you would only be lucky enough to live in the Hamptons. I was like, you know what? The way you delivered that, Jerry, that was really good.
Hilarious.
It was great. I had a
laughed
great
my
time.
ass off. Yeah,
The
I've
drinks
heard,
were $15, but you know,
well,
whatever.
I mean, yeah. That's very cool. Have you seen him perform before?
I don't think so.
Very cool.
No.
My friend said that
I
he
saw him
went-
on this like cult show called Seinfeld.
Oh,
Don't know if you heard of it.
play the laugh track, Chris. Okay. Yeah, my friend saw him, I guess, like in the early 2000s, like soon after Seinfeld wrapped, and he said that like
Wait,
it was
he got bars?
oh, I don't know. Is that a show? Is that an end name of his stand-up? Apparently,
No, like his rapping. Is he good?
Uh,
Come on, Tom.
I don't know.
Come on. The gears are moving. Get them into place.
I don't know.
You said after Seinfeld rapped.
Oh,
I asked if he had bars. Come on, Tom.
I don't know if this was a me problem or no, you can't control the soundboard. You can't do that. Anyway, my friend went to go see a show where it was meant to be like, this is the last time I'm doing these jokes after all of this. Like I'm scrapping all of my old material. Like I'm doing all new material, or whatever. And so it was like the funniest thing you'd ever watched. Like, because it was just the hits. So good to know that he's still kicking, still doing the good jokes.
I imagine
All
those
right.
tickets were not cheap. For Seinfeld.
I don't know. We were up in the nosebleeds, and it was my friend. He was supposed
So it
to.
was like
my
a
friend,
podcast.
My friend, yeah, my friend. I mean, I basically you couldn't really even see him, even with my glasses. Couldn't even fucking see him. And
Did they have a TV or whatever? So you could
no
just watch that?
TV. It was just a dude. I mean, like that's the whole thing about comedians. Like whatever. It's just a guy standing on the stage. The guy who opened for him though was very heavy on like the like marriage jokes. I'm so over like the marriage jokes. Like, oh my wife, she's doing this. Like, unless you have something new to say
Raisin
that hasn't been
jokes.
said in the last 80 years, like I don't want to hear it.
Raisin and train jokes though on the cutting edge of
Cutting
comedy.
edge. I mean,
Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off. Anyway, the friend that I went with was supposed to go with his mother, but his mother sprained her ankle, so I got to go.
Wow.
That sounds like an episode of Seinfeld.
So, but
Very nice.
yeah.
So Tuna, how
That
you been?
was it was all right. That was the night, actually, weirdly, this was over a month ago now, but that was the night that for some reason my boiler decided to stop working. The one night that I take
This is
Like,
also
and I
like a
take-
Seinfeld bit.
And I go into the city, and Britt's like,
Yeah.
"You got it." Britt like texted me. She goes, "The heat's off," and I'm like, "Are you like the one night?" So we had to get like a guy from.
Was it just like the pilot light?
No,
boiler?
it was there was a fan. There was a motorized fan that was not working, that didn't vent the air, so it automatically shut the boiler off. So we had to get the motor replaced.
Jesus.
Which the guy came like midnight that night. Anyway, but long story short, like I was supposed to get drinks and stuff after the show, but I was like, oh my god, the one night I got to go back home. Anyway, so how have I been? Busy, working. We're hosting Easter here, so and we're doing Passover tomorrow.
Oh,
You gonna watch Rugrats
So-
special?
Hell yeah.
The Passover Rugrats special is the best Rugrats episode ever.
Yeah.
We saw Rugrats was on the other day. It was on TV, and
The
we were like,
new
"Oh."
one?
So that's what I was going to comment on. The new
Yeah.
one is a disgrace to
Wow.
Rugrats. It's a
Mm.
disgrace.
Disgrace.
It's CGI.
Fuck.
It's horrible. Horrible. It is so bad. It's terrible. I don't know what these kids are doing. So
I don't want
what
to see
else?
it now.
It's
I haven't
terrible.
heard anything about it, so it might be.
Yeah, 'cause it's
total
like-
garbage.
yeah,
it's
I
fun.
think
It might be, but there's been plenty of reboots that haven't been.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Rugrats feels like it was a place in time. It seems like a kind of weird thing to bring back. So you're probably
in CGI,
right.
bring it back in CGI.
Well,
it just,
I mean, the CGI thing doesn't bother me. Most cartoons that come out are made on
terrible.
computers in one way or another.
it's terrible. It's terrible.
It's-
It's
yeah,
really, really bad.
I really don't know what it looks like. So I just,
Mm.
I'm just gonna take your word for it.
same theme.
I mean, honestly, we watched about 5 minutes,
And you're
and
like, okay.
we were like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
I'm out.
that's it." Yeah.
What about the baby? Did she like it? No.
No, she's not really like into anything except for Miss Rachel still and Sesame Street.
Okay.
Plato. Socrates, the
yeah.
classics.
The classics. Big development though is
Mm.
that the kid pretty much knows every letter,
Wow.
which is kind of crazy. She doesn't. I'll tell. I could name the letter she does. She doesn't know G.
It's a hard
She
one.
says F as S.
Sure.
She doesn't know Q.
Okay.
Well,
she
now, she's
doesn't-
starting to know. Not
it's
know a lot
anonymous.
of them.
So
She doesn't know W. But that's it. Like if I go to her, if I go A,
well, she got
she'll-
you right. So just tell her 2 of those.
she'll do the whole. I know.
You do one.
She'll
and
do
then
the
another.
whole thing. She'll do the whole thing.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. That's
that's pretty
Like she'll do the song.
she'll do the song.
How high can
Wow.
she count?
5.
That's so funny that she can do the alphabet, which feels
Like
more
counting.
nebulous, more ephemeral than numbers. Because there's 10. She's just got to
But
learn
she
10 of
doesn't.
them.
She goes, well, okay. Here's what I will say. She knows the numbers 1 through 5, but she says it like this: Wa,
Yeah.
oo,
Sure.
e,
Yeah.
I assume.
or, and then for
Or-
5, and then for 5, she doesn't say 5. She just goes like this. She holds up 5 fingers, and then after that, if we're counting after that, she just hits her finger on her hand, or like somewhere. She'll just like
Yeah.
hit her finger, like if we're at, and then for some reason with 8, she'll go. But yeah, and actually
Like-
with
like
10,
she's
she'll
Baby
hold
Yoda.
up- yeah, but with 10, she'll hold up both.
She can do more
hands.
than Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda still can't say a fucking anything.
What weirdly though, even though she can, even though she recognizes letters too. Like she doesn't, like if I showed her this Y, she'll say Y. But weirdly, she still is not saying mama.
But
She's holding that
Dada.
back. Dada kinda. Not really.
What she
She's
call you?
still
Just Alex.
like if she looks at me, she'll go dad. Like she'll just keep doing
well,
it. She
that's-
won't just be like dad, and then stop.
Well, that's harder.
I guess. I mean, I feel like
She's
what's
gonna be so good
okay,
at the Yu-Gi-Oh theme though.
here's what's weird. Here's what's weird about this kid right now. What's weird about this kid is that
Yeah.
her vocabulary is like she knows like maybe I don't know, maybe 20 words.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember my nephew knew a lot more words than her at her age.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she knows the alphabet and most of it, like my nephew doesn't, like, he knows the alphabet now, but he's older than her. I don't know.
So you have a better baby, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying I'm a little concerned.
He's
not talking.
definitely saying the opposite, Tom.
Yeah. So
Tom,
obviously
Tom was one of the slower babies as well.
Yeah, but Tom was one of the slower babies. And then
For sure.
yeah, you know, what's we I don't know, man. She like understands words too. Like, we have this game now where there's like these like animals that she can like pick and like she can point to.
Okay.
And she knows like if I say elephant, she knows where the elephant is. Mm-hmm. She knows where the bird is. She knows where the fish is. She's not saying much. So like I brought it up to the doctor. The doctor was like, in her own time. So I was like, all right, fine.
Still early days,
I guess. I mean, the doctor was semi-impressed that she knew the alphabet. And then I was like, kind of like, well, she's not really talking that much. So like, what do you think about that? And she was like, oh, she's a girl. Cool. All right. Whatever. So there it is. That's been my life has turned into, it's very interesting now because she can walk, run, climb, a lot more active. So like at 5 o'clock ish, when I'm signing off work, it's not like, oh, let me go sit on the couch and watch her while she plays in her little spot. Like, no, now she's running around and doing bad things, getting into bullshit. So it's never ending.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't, and I feel guilty saying this, but sometimes I can't wait till the kid goes to bed.
Sure, of course.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's enough. So
we'll get there.
Oh,
eventually.
So we take it you haven't played anything then?
No.
No video games anymore. Officially done with that.
Well, we just got done talking about playing some VR and multiplayer right before he got on. Tom didn't really play anything since last week either.
Wow, Tom didn't play anything? What have you been doing?
I've been building the Avatar campaign.
Building the Avatar. Oh.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
Which the character, just a fun reminder, you have a character to build.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry.
Okay. I'll do that tomorrow.
I will say this. In terms of video games, if I do have like a break, and by break I mean like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just like in between calls or something. I'll throw on a little Fall Guys or a little Halo for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's really it. Yeah. Unfortunately. I tried to play Roller Coaster Tycoon as well, but now she like climbs on me, and when the iPad's out, she wants to like touch it and play around with it. So,
not happening.
There haven't been any amusement park buildings either.
Maybe she can give it a stab.
And that's the other thing too. She just like picks stuff up and then leaves it. Like, she wants to come down here because this is like the forbidden fruit.
Yeah,
this basement.
Yeah.
So she comes down here.
What's going to happen with the basement? You're going to lose this play space at some point, right? Have you considered that? Where are you going to play video games in the future? Are you going to have to get like a
I'll get her a video game
in your bedroom?
She's got a playroom. I'll just put her in the playroom.
But what about when she's older? What about when she's like 8?
She could play video games in the playroom.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to keep the playroom? You're not going to move it downstairs?
Why would I let her take this?
Curious.
It's paradise.
Because you had the basement. Because when you were the kid, you had the basement at home.
Yeah, but my mom didn't play video games.
Yeah, but she watched TV in the living room.
Yeah, but I would watch TV in the living room.
Alex is you're so indignant about the idea of not having your gaming space. It's so funny.
It's really funny. We were actually talking about this last night. My friend, one of my friends has lived in the same apartment in New York City with his wife now for the last, gotta be 8 years, right? And it's literally a 1-bedroom apartment. There is, Tom, you might have even been there.
This phone.
Yeah, but it's literally a living room, right? So there's a living room and a bedroom.
Yeah,
and that's it, right? That's the whole apartment. Yes, there's a kitchen, but it's in the living room basically. Got to be 500 something square feet, whatever.
Crazy.
And I was talking to him last night, and I was like, I can't believe you've been in that apartment for as long as you have, because like, and I showed him, I was like, this basement, like, I need this basement. I need to be able to just come down here, and be like, I'm playing video games or I'm watching Mandalorian or something on my own for a bit. What the fuck is going on?
I'm here.
So anyway, look at this guy's background. He's got Iron Man, he's got the Nintendo, he's got Nintendo Power, just chilling.
Yeah.
And is that the lost? Are those
Well,
the lost
these are
Yeah,
things
we
you
got the
can
lost
buy. These are things you can own when you don't have a kid.
That's true. What did you just go golfing or something? What is this shirt? Since when do you wear a collar? Yeah, when do you wear a collar on the show? You don't wear a collar on the show. Oh, you're going out though.
No, I mean, I'm just starting to wear spring stuff again because it's 75 degrees today.
Yeah, but you usually wear a tee.
I have like 15 polos, probably. Actually, sorry, they're not polos. I have probably
we're gonna have to go
like
back to the videotape.
I probably have like 3 polos, but I have like 9 or 10 short sleeve button downs. But those also have collars.
With a collar.
Yeah, look at the podcast art for like 4 years. It was me with the fucking collar, with the white shirt, I used to wear that shirt all the time. That was like my signature shirt.
How convenient that that's not the art anymore. How convenient.
What is the art?
What is the art now?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Us as Voltron, basically.
All right.
Yeah. Chris, before we talk Mario movie, did you play any more Tchia?
I didn't. So I did play more Tchia. I didn't play a lot because I was like, oh, I want to look at Dead Cells, but I didn't really get a lot to play of that. So I would like to play Tchia for another week before we change the game.
Yeah, 100%. Because I want to get back to it too.
Well, because originally I wasn't going to be here today. Originally, the plan was Teresa and I were going to go to Super Nintendo World, but then she couldn't. Her work stuff had to change. So then,
yeah, you were going to go for day 3.
Well, that was going to be day 1.
What?
He's saying that they were meant to go this week, but they ended up going a week.
Oh my god!
So we were meant to originally go to Super Nintendo World about.
You really don't realize how obstructive that nose is for Yoshi until now.
Oh, with his own eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't see shit.
Yeah, no way.
It's amazing that he's able to get Mario anywhere. Guy can't see anything.
That's true. That's a very good point. But I guess maybe it hangs down a little bit more on him. But it doesn't. It is. It's up in front of him, isn't it?
It's up in there.
Yeah, he's got quite the obstruction.
Did Yoshi make? Oh wait, actually, I probably shouldn't ask that.
We went to the Super Mario World, the Super Nintendo World at Universal. We went to the theme park last Friday.
Wait, was it all Mario, or were there other?
It's Nintendo... all Mario stuff, basically.
So so even though it's called Super Nintendo World, it really is Super Mario World
as of right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My guess is,
I'm shocked there's no like Hyrule or.
Oh my god! I mean, look, imagine,
dude. Here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. You spend 1 minute in this park and you immediately say this needs to be its own fucking park. This needs to be gigantic. It needs to have Zelda. It needs to have Mario. It needs to have Pokemon. Like, there's no reason that Nintendo shouldn't have a park that rivals Disney, and it shouldn't be a section of Universal. Now, the one they're building in Florida for that Universal, they're calling Nintendo Epic Universe. It's going to be quite a bit larger. It's also going to come with the new Donkey Kong ride, and I think it's going to have the Yoshi ride. But I think the Yoshi ride's also coming to the Hollywood one. But the Hollywood one is small. There's really only one real ride, but then there are these other like activations and things that you can do there, which are awesome. But holy fuck, guys, when you walk into it, what's weird about it is it's on the lower level of the park. The park's in 3 sections. There's the main area, there's an upper and a lower level. You can't ever, like, when you're in there, you don't see any of the Nintendo stuff, like, until you get to it. It's basically like all the way in the back. So unlike everything else where you can kind of see the different areas the whole time, it feels like very secluded. And what's great about that is you enter through a giant green warp pipe that has fucking like LEDs on it, and it's making the warp pipe noise as you come out the other end. And as you come out the other side of it, it was like magic. It was like magic. Like you stepped into the fucking Mushroom Kingdom It was
like how Star Wars isn't it? Like,
dude,
that's very much how it is.
It's unbelievable. So we went on Friday. We had to go there later because Tree still had some stuff to do work. So the line for Mario Kart by the time we got there was 3 hours. So he said, we're going to come back Sunday morning so that we can just get there super early. And then we were able to actually ride it twice on Sunday.
For context for listeners, Chris lives down the block essentially from Universal.
Yeah, I have the year pass.
It's very easy for him to get there.
Yeah, it's not even. It's like a mile and a half, so it's very close. And we paid the year pass for us or California residents is less than going twice. So if you go twice,
you paid for it.
Yeah, just that's it. Like
Can you see in this hat?
I've got a little bit of. I've only have a little bit. This
is unbelievable.
A little bit of
YouTube.com/Unranked podcast. See the video.
Did you buy a Mario? You didn't go for Mario?
Chris has got a.
You know what? There's a bunch of them, Alex. The Mario one's cool. The Luigi one's cool. I really want the Bowser one because it gives you like the hair and the spikes and it goes around your chin. And the Toad hat I really want too, more than the Mario or the Luigi.
Is the Toad hat just the cap?
Yeah, it's just the cap.
Oh.
So this is the other thing I got. I got the power bracelet.
You got to buy the bracelet to do this stuff.
It's a snap bracelet. Yeah, so there's interactive shit. So there's like item blocks, question blocks. You go up to them and you fucking hit it, and it'll make the coin sound. You can collect coins and get points. It like tracks your shit. When you go on the Mario Kart ride, it'll track your individual score because the Mario Kart ride, you're wearing AR glasses that have a screen that's see-through. So while you're on the ride, you're shooting like the items at and like picking up coins and stuff. So it'll track your individual score. But then there are these different activations there. Like one I went on, and it was great because the line for that was only like 10 minutes because they're very quick. You go in, and I was in like a cave kind of an area, and then I, swipe my bracelet, and I can play a game. And in this game, I had to try and like flip all the blocks. When you have to like flip the blocks to be the same color of Mario. Like there's like the blue and the yellow where you fall through them where they're like outlined and then they're full blocks.
Yes.
In the Mario video games.
I'm having trouble picturing it, but
sometimes you like hit a block, it'll activate blocks that were invisible and now you can jump on them. And then when they're not visible, they just have like light blue outline.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So there's a giant LED wall and half of them are the blue and half of them are the yellow. And a timer starts and you have to go and like fucking, it felt like a Nickelodeon, like Nick Arcade thing where you're doing that. And if you successfully do it, and thwomps are like hitting it. So they're changing ones back that you're changing. You get a key. There's 3 of these different games that you can go and get the keys for. And if you get all 3 keys, then you can go inside Bowser Jr.'s castle and do the Bowser Jr. chest in game, which is cool. So there's all these different like video game experiences. But man, I don't have a ton of time because I do have to leave soon to go, but it was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, we waited in line for about an hour for Mario Kart, which it's a theme park. That's like really not bad. There were so many times when we were in a room, especially once you get into Bowser's castle, where I was like, we are moving too quick. I can't look at all of the things in here. Like it's like almost like a haunted house, the level of detail, the attractions. Like there are 3 rooms that are Bowser's workshop. And it's like he's got like books and blueprints, and it's like, oh, here's how I make the bombs. Here's how I make like the Robo Koopas and all of those things. And like I'm like trying to look at it, and we're like still walking. I'm like, line needs to fucking slow down for a second. They have
if you did the 3-hour one.
I know.
On Friday, you would have been able to stand around and look at all of that.
The next time I go, I'm excited to get back in the line, to be honest with you, because also the whole time, like you're going room to room and they're playing different music from like Mario and Yoshi's Story and stuff. And it's like, oh, I'm in the Crystal Caves. Oh, I'm in like the Yoshi's like cloud area. Oh, I'm in like the jungle. Oh, we're like, you go upstairs and outside. Like I sent you guys pictures and you see like it's multi-level. There's a lot of height to Super Mario World, which is great. But when you go back outside on the line, there's a part where you're up like 2 stories and you're outside and like Yoshi's like right there. The Goombas are like right there next to you. And it's like, oh, fuck, there's like the Frosty Peaks area. There's like the desert. It was amazing. It was amazing. They have, full size trophies of all the trophies from Mario Kart. And you're just like walking by them.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking cool, man. It's so cool. And everyone's just happy there. Like, unlike, every once people get into a line for a little while, people start to, everyone the whole time is just like, oh my god, like amazing.
Are there any
Amazing.
kids there?
Kids,
Or-
adults, everyone. Everybody's there. Everybody's there.
Your daughter's there, Tuna, not talking.
It's great. It was great. I had such a good time.
Let's
Tom,
talk about the movie before you.
yes, I've got a little bit of time. We'll talk about the movie. Tom, what do you think?
So Chris doesn't know anything about how I felt.
Yeah.
As well, just to give you some context. We didn't talk about that, Tuna. This movie pained me.
I don't understand this.
Because
it
pained me.
Okay.
I was in
All right.
pain because I was just smiling too much. This movie
thank God.
fucking rules. I haven't been this happy doing anything in a very long
It's
time.
delightful.
It is.
It's
so
delightful.
delightful. Now, granted, I'll give it two things. Your mileage is going to vary based on how aware of the Mario universe you are, right?
Yeah, it's a movie for Mario people. If you like Mario, you will like this movie because it is a Mario-ass movie.
It is a Mario-ass movie, and if you like Mario and you have even a tangential familiarity, you don't need to be the biggest Mario nerd. You're going to enjoy this movie. The second thing is it narratively and kind of character arc wise pretty thin, even compared to some modern, a lot of people point towards last year's Puss in Boots, which I haven't seen, and I doubt you guys have seen.
It to that though. I think that's a really bad comparison, personally. But
I'm just saying there are kids movies that have a lot more depth in this movie.
Yes.
It is really just like, what if we took the plot of a Mario game and made 100%. It into a movie? That being said, I will say that at the core is trying to build the idea that Mario and Luigi need each other in order to succeed in either form,
because there's Super Mario Brothers.
There's Super Mario Brothers. And I'll say that when that they have that emotional resolution, I think it's actually pretty effective. Just compared to something like a Lego movie where it feels very layered, there's actually a lot of depth there. It is thin in that comparison. But dude, the thing that this movie has, and I think is its biggest strength, is that its pacing is immaculate.
Oh, it's an hour and a half.
It whizzes by. And I both felt like I could just watch this forever. It was just so awesome to see all the things happening. But at the same time, I was like, they fucking nailed how long it is. But I could have, if they said, surprise, we made a second one and we're screening it right now, do you want to stay? And I'd be like, absolutely yes. Yeah. I loved it. I really thought it was, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I said to Brooke, this is going to be a movie that if we just want something on in the background, why would we pick anything else?
There's something I think that people aren't considering when they talk about this movie being thin, and you compare it to a Puss in Boots or compare it to a Lego movie. Puss in Boots is coming from a fuck ton of folklore and fantasy. I mean, it has so many things set up in that world just from the Shrek series, first of all, because that's where it exists in. So narratively, there's a lot for them to build on. That's a character that's been around a long time in narrative sense, right? So I think that's a bad comparison. I think the thing with the Lego movie that makes the Lego movie work better, where you can make a lot more depth, is that there is no fucking Lego universe. There's actually nothing. So they could do whatever they want with Lego. Whereas with Mario, there's just enough story and there's more than enough expectations where you actually can't just be like, oh, we're going to fucking just rewrite the recipe book on Mario with this. You kind of have to be able to do what Mario is expected to do.
I wouldn't consider this a spoiler, but the Bowser's plot is I want to marry Peach. Right,
yeah, it is straight up. It is straight up Mario,
which feels very weird and a really bizarre motivation, especially in the year of our Lord 2023. But they do the thing, which is that Bowser wants to marry Peach.
Yeah. There's a couple points I want to try and get to, Tom, because I don't really have a lot of time. So, first of all, I've seen some people complain that they think this visually doesn't look good, and I think that's insane.
I think it looks of your mind.
Unbelievable.
I have not seen those complaints. That's crazy.
If you go to the negative reviews, there are a lot of people that are it doesn't blow you away visually. Some people are oh, it's kind of ugly. I'm like, This, I think, movie has some of the best texture work I've ever seen in a CG animated movie. The textures on everything are perfect. There are textures on things that I've never considered before, like even the way their skin and their clothes look. Yeah, the stitching on the hat, on the clothes, like everything.
To me, the one texture wise, because I completely agree. Like the textures are amazing. The textures on the mushrooms in the mushroom kingdom.
Yes, the mushrooms and Donkey Kong's fingers were the two that like blew me away. It was like both like just close enough to real, like just close enough to like, oh my God, they walked it up right to the edge of like, if you made it more realistic, it'd be Uncanny Valley, but they left it perfectly cartoony enough. Like it's like
I did not. I'll have to on the.
There's a couple shots that are like super close up on his hands, which is like a weird and funny thing that they do, but. I was like, oh my God, like this is it's incredible.
It is visually so impressive. Anyone that states that it's not, I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's
I don't
crazy.
Understand.
I think
the music though for me was
the music's amazing. Also the like actual songs, not the Mario songs that they use. They use a lot of like 80s music and they are great and they are perfect. All of the choices for those were perfect.
I think they do fit. I did feel a little bit like, man, I just wish like I had even more Mario. You know, like the score was so good.
Oh, there's a vinyl coming out tomorrow on I Am 8-bit and a CD and an album. So I'm gonna pre-order that tomorrow, which so you know, because I think it's limited. You can buy that. But I just there are two other things I want to say because I have to get going. Our show time's in like 45 minutes.
Chris is about to go see it again.
Yeah. Well, Therese hasn't seen it yet, so. Because I went to a screening, so Therese hasn't gone. So we're both going to go see it. The thing they did best, I think, narratively, actually, isn't just recontextualizing everything, because like the items of Mario have never really been explained, like the toads, the kingdom, they like actually made them feel real and gave them a lot of depth and story. And so people would look at this and be like, oh, the story's thin. And I'm like, they built so much fucking story for Mario though, bro. Like they didn't ever have any of these like story beats. And like they basically built, I'm watching and I'm like, this is the Mario RPG. This is the open world Mario RPG. Like, this is it. I want to play this game. I want this Mario Breath of the Wild. But Peach has a great story and a backstory and like things that have never really been explored in Mario, and they made her such an interesting character in a way she's never been, that I was like, that was really good.
I love that commitment to power-ups, as you were saying.
Yeah, the power-ups are great.
Like that is a whole story beat, and like they set up the rules of like you get hit, you lose the power-up. So in the story, in the various scenarios where they're being implemented, there are like stakes. And
we also went away from Mario like getting bigger and stronger like he used to with the just normal, you know, power-up mushroom. And the fact that they brought it back, I'm like, can we please can we do this in 3D Mario again? Because this is cool. Like, can we go back to this idea? Because you just came up with a great way for it to work, and they have abandoned it basically since Mario 64. Like, time to bring it back with this new concept here. So the last thing I want to say is the Chris Pratt voice, totally not a problem.
Yeah.
Way better in the movie than any of the ads. It's as if they picked the worst clips of him and used them in all of the ads.
And they also, the other thing that like when you watch the film is that they use like there are moments where he does, like, for example, the moment in the movie where he says, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't happen in the moment that it shows in the trailer.
Correct.
And it works way better in the moment where it does.
The like, oh, where am I? And it just sounds like Chris Pratt in the first trailer.
Also in a different moment.
Not yet. And it doesn't sound like it sounds so.
Yeah. In the
way
context,
better. Yeah. Way better. There's one voice I actually had to complain about. I think the voice of Cranky Kong was really bad casting, and it should have been Larry David. It would have been way better if it was Larry David.
People seem to be really pissed off at the Cranky Kong, Fred Armisen's Cranky Kong.
I think it's bad. I think he's a bad. I never thought I'd be coming in here and being like, Chris Pratt, great Mario. Cranky Kong, Fred Armisen, terrible. Should have been Larry David. Would have been fucking amazing. But I loved it. I'm very excited to go see it again. I wish I could stay and talk more about it, but I do have to go. Matt's going to be there, Emily, Naeem, basically just like a bunch of former Unranked guests going to see it with. So I am going to, you guys just give me a beat. I'm going to turn my video off so Tom, you can fix the stream.
Yeah. So, well, do you have any questions, Tuna, about? Because I definitely have more thoughts on the movie, but maybe based on
No,
your
just tell me
question.
your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, and I think that even down to details like Luigi's phone ringtone is the GameCube.
Oh,
Like
it's good.
even stuff like there are so many Easter eggs in every frame of this movie, and I think its pacing is its strongest suit of it just moves. They don't hesitate on any moment too long, and I think if they did, like a lot of the issues that you know critics lobbied at this movie, I think would be more justified because Mario kind of shows up into the Mushroom Kingdom, meets Peach, and within 2 seconds, like they're going on that quest together.
Mhm.
And the justification for why it's happening is kind of thin, like a lot of things in this movie, but it moves on so fast. And then it's like, Peach is like, cool, you want to come on this adventure with me? You're gonna have to do World 1-1 from Super Mario Brothers, the first one. You got to
Mhm.
do that to prove yourself. And then
Right.
and then Peach shows how you master the course, and it's just like the coolest thing. Um, and the Mario Kart scene when they do they do Rainbow Road, they do Mario Kart, they
Right.
and it's 8. There's gliders, there's levitation, there's all
Mm.
the the shells, all this stuff. Bullet Bill. Um yeah, totally delightful. Even the stuff there's a lot more real world stuff, right? Because the idea is that they come from the human world, they end up in the Mushroom Kingdom, they're plumbers in Brooklyn in New York.
Mhm.
All of that was fantastic. Um and I think, yeah, at the end of the day, I was surprised how emotionally resonant, even though I don't think the movie did a ton to, other than a handful of lines of like, Luigi is aware that Mario is always there to like stand up for him and like, you know, never quits, right? Is the idea.
Mhm.
Like Mario never knows when to give up. And then on the Mario end, realizing that he kind of needs Luigi in order, like that's he is the thing that gives him the. Chris is playing sounds.
I forgot to inform you. I'll stay on audio only. I did play something this last week,
What is
Oh,
happening?
and there has been a murder. The
oh, he
murder of
played
Sonic the
Sonic.
Hedgehog. It's a very fun game. It's on Steam. It's free. It's like 2 hours. It's a point and click adventure. Works on Steam Deck. Highly recommend it.
There was an April Fool's joke thing that they revealed for Sonic. Yeah. So, but then on the flip side with Mario,
That was so random that he just popped in like that.
he was like, guys, I have to tell you about the murder of Sonic. On the flip side with Mario, of like, oh, he needs Luigi gives him the push to continue on. When they have that moment in the end of the movie where it's like we need each other to beat Bowser or whatever.
Right.
It actually like it's nowhere near as emotionally effective as like a Pixar film, but it's surprisingly effective considering how little the movie like spends on any of that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, visually it's amazing. The music is fantastic. How they utilize all of, this movie is built on references. Like if you are going in for that,
Mhm.
or you're going in with that a lot of that knowledge, it's a really really good time. And I would totally like, if you, I know we were originally going to go plan to see it, if you said let's go see it, 100% there.
Mhm.
And I think you'd enjoy it in a theater with a big screen and all that, so I'm gonna
In a
push you
in a theater.
in a theater. Like I want, I know that you texted me, you're like, I feel bad that you come out, I have no problem coming out of Long Island to see a good old film. A
A
good old
film.
film.
A film.
Yeah. And there are if you do go see it, uh there are some post credits. There are some post
Okay.
credits. Yeah.
All right. Some post cred.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's my thought. Yeah, I totally enjoyed. I see where the criticisms come from with some of the critics' thoughts, but
Who are these
uh
critics?
yeah, who are they? And in fact, actually, GameSpot, we gave it an 8. Both IGN and GameSpot gave it an 8, the two kind of biggest gaming sites. So
Is that good for movies for those for those?
Oh yeah, an 8 out of 10 is good. Yeah, you know
Oh,
how the scale works. 6 out of 10 is fine. 7 out of 10 is okay. 8 is good.
8 is good.
9 is amazing.
Yeah, but it
10
seems
is
like you
best game of the year.
you thought it was a little more than good. I feel like no.
I mean, I think the thing is like, you know, at the end of the day, the thing that makes this movie really work is the pacing. It spares no time. It is so lean. There is no time wasted.
Right.
Everything is just like, let's move on to the next cool thing, and everything is awesome in this film. To name another, to reference another Pratt film, and it is delightful. Like it literally gives you delight.
Pratt's just got one of those voices.
And I will say, like, I really enjoyed Chris Pratt in this film. There's a great bit in the beginning that happens in the human world that isn't even based off of anything that happens in Mario. They have to like go fix. They have to go plumb, right? To plumb, right? The act of plumbing. They have to go plumb in like this rich person's apartment, and they have like an altercation with this person's dog. And it's not based on anything in Mario, but it's legitimately hilarious. I do want to see it again, but it is going to be that movie of like that. It is the ultimate. I think it's more than a background movie for the first time watching it, but you could just put it on in the background and then just look up and be like, that's really cool.
What? Wait. What do you mean a background? How many background movies you watching?
Brooke loves background movies.
What does that mean, a background movie?
Just a movie that you literally have on in the background while you're doing other things, and from time to time, occasionally watch. But you're primarily focused on.
But I'm assuming you've seen the movie before.
Well,
you can't have a background movie on for your first viewing, can you?
No, but
okay.
But what I'm saying is,
like, The Bourne Identity is a movie that I could like. If it's on TV,
I don't know. Yes,
if it's
only
on TV.
In the action moments, but not when Jason Bourne's talking to fucking. You know, he's having a phone chat with Julia Stiles, and she's like, "Don't come to Berlin." Yeah, I mean, you have to know the movie, right? In order for it to be worth any value to you. But yeah, like putting on the background, looking up and be like, oh, the training montage, or when they enter the Jungle Kingdom and DK's thing. Oh, that was so much fun. And like that him in the Tanuki suit, him and DK doing, yeah, so cool. So cool. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. I think you're gonna be tickled pink.
Tickled pink. Oh,
yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Woo! So Mario movie, let us know. Go join the Discord if you've seen the movie. We have a Discord channel dedicated to it. Because I am assuming a lot of people that listen to this podcast are going to go see it. So go check out the Discord in the shows. We've had a lot of people join recently. Let's even call them out. Let's give them a little call out. We should do this on the show when new people join the Discord. We have Cheese.
Just cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
With 3 E's in the middle. Cheese. Well, that's maybe 4 or more. Cheese. E's. So we have cheese. We also have Big Boss Nasty. Big Boss Nasty also in the Discord as well. So thank you, Big Boss Nasty and Cheese, for joining the Discord. You could be, and that's a new segment. Boom, we haven't added a new segment in a long time. I think
it's been a long time.
The last new segment was Dan's cookies.
That's
dead.
Wow,
that's dead.
That's dead. Complaints is basically dead.
Discord call out. Well, you've only got one thing to complain about, and it can't say dada. So Cheese and Big Boss Nasty, thank you for joining the Discord. You could be like Cheese and Big Boss Nasty, and if you're in the Discord, of course, you can subscribe to our Spartan program. $5 a month gets you the ability to watch this live, post shows, and additional things. Before we move on to news, Tuna, so are you telling me that you have started work on your avatar character?
I have snippets.
Preliminary.
I have snippets written in my
Snippets.
phone. I actually
Okay.
want. I need like a physical. Like I want to write it.
Write it. Yeah.
I don't want to like type it into my phone. Like anytime I type anything into my phone, I feel it just feels stupid.
I'll mail you. I've got this notebook with the avatar. It'll have the Firebender logo on it. I'll just mail it to you. So my plan was
That's pretty cool.
that'll do it. My plan was to give it to you in person, and then you changed
Right.
our plans. So
Right.
yeah.
I didn't change our plans. Well, it was 50-50.
Okay. I'll fine. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna linger. I'm not gonna linger.
Mhm.
Do you want to hear some news?
Sure, hit me with some news.
Okay. News jingle insert here. So PlayStation might have hot on the heels of the Steam Deck, PlayStation might unveil its own handheld, a new one. Did you own a PSP/PS Vita back in the day?
I did not.
Neither.
I did not. No, neither.
Huh?
Can I just be honest?
Be honest.
I think we have gotten to a point in society
Uh-huh.
when there are just too many
There's too
things.
much stuff. Yeah.
There's too many things, right? Between a Steam Deck, a Switch, a PS, whatever, right? Game Gear, right? The amount of that was the other thing. So Brittany and I started watching Yellow Jackets again, and we literally had to watch. I feel like I say this every couple months, but we had to watch a recap thing on YouTube because there's so much content now. The number of shows that I am watching on a yearly has gotten to a
it's
insane
crazy.
level to the point where I'm forgetting a lot from like other shows.
Yeah.
Like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm gonna watch it, but I forgot what the fuck happened last time.
You don't have to.
I'm trying to keep Severance in my head as long as I can before the next season comes out because it's like,
well,
dude,
the next season is.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, Succession. What?
What do you know about Succession?
Succession's out,
right?
So I'm in it,
right?
Right.
Oh, so you're talking about the past. Past you was trying to keep Succession in your head.
Yeah.
You know this is the last season, right?
I'm aware.
Okay.
But past me was like keeping Succession in my head, thinking about it. Don't forget.
Don't forget
like
what happened to that finale.
I literally, because of how I knew George R.R. Martin, was with his books. When I finished A Dance with Dragons, I have a very extensive note in my phone about everything that I remember about the end of that book, so that I can just reference that if Winds of Winter ever comes out.
I mean, why isn't that the equivalent though of just watching a YouTube video about it?
It is, but it's my notes that I wrote myself.
YouTube video.
It's my YouTube video. It's what I remember.
It's what I remember. I mean,
that's why I feel like maybe we shouldn't do multiple seasons of shows now. Maybe we should just do one season for everything.
Limited series.
Because I'll tell you what. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we're in news. I'll let you do the news, and then I'll.
Is this a complaint?
A little bit. It's a little complaint. Okay, fine. We'll see. Yeah, okay, fine.
But what I was gonna say is that how it was with the Avatar RPG, because I'd gone away for my birthday. So it's like 2 weeks where I hadn't really touched it, and then I was like, fuck, I promised them we do this in March, and it hasn't even, like, it's April. It's gonna be April. So I was like, I have to sit down and do this. And once I sat down, I immediately, I had to scramble in my brain for what was the last thing I learned about this game? And that is why I haven't really played anything, because it's so much easier when you're in the source to.
Wait, is it that involved? How I've never played a D&D / role-playing game. So what is the ask for you? What is the?
It is more about trying to my primary objective is to understand it on a level where I can also teach it, right? Because the idea, this book is written for both the game master, which is the role I will be fulfilling, and players to read, but you're never going to read the book. So I am trying to distill the information. I'm making Google Slides. I've got a whole presentation to kind of get you in it. Once you kind of understand the total framework and everything, it's one of those things like a board game will sound complicated until you play it, and then
dude, when we were growing up, I don't know if Chris can hear me right now.
He's gone.
Uh,
He's definitely gone.
You think he's gone? I
Yeah,
don't know, he might be.
it would be. I'm telling you right now, Chris, if you're still there, it would be psychopathic behavior
Yes.
and very narcissistic.
There would
like
when we were growing up, right? I would love board games, and I would
Yeah.
love getting new board games.
Yeah.
But I would dread having to sit there and explain the rules to
Of
Chris.
course.
No, Chris.
Oh, Chris. Okay.
Chris especially,
Okay.
right? Because he would just want to just play, and I'd be like, "No, we have to read the rules," and he wouldn't want to read the rules. He'd want to just get in.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We'll learn by doing. Which honestly, probably could have for a lot of the games you could have, but like he would never want to sit there and listen to me tell the rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you actually have Google Slides going on?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh,
I've got a
really?
whole
Okay.
presentation because I
A
want
whole free. Oh my god!
because the plan is like we're going
Will there
to play
be
this consistently.
Will there be refreshments? Any
Yeah,
kind of?
100%. I mean, if you
Oh,
want to
okay.
prep some stuff for you.
No, I want an Uber Eats delivery to my house. From you.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
if you're the
schedule
game
that.
master, are you
Yeah.
like an overlord? Are you a character? What are you?
I play all of the characters that aren't your characters,
Okay,
including
but
the avatar.
we're not the
if
avatar.
you-
Oh, so you're gonna be the avatar.
If you guys ever meet the avatar, then yeah.
What do you mean if we meet? We got to meet the avatar. You got to get us over there.
I mean,
Just shoehorn us into the avatar.
I've already got a plan for season 1, book 1.
Oh, book 1. I was gonna say,
book
yeah,
1.
come on, book
Yeah,
1.
Book 1. The one shot, all this stuff. Some of it is going to change probably based on what the characters pitch me. But my original point was,
Yes.
once I kind of got back in the source of building
Right.
it, I was like, I can't be out of the source, because if I get
Okay.
out of the source, it's going to be.
Are you saying source or sauce?
sauce,
Like pasta sauce.
pasta sauce?
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Once I'm in the sauce.
Yeah.
So that's how I spent my weekend. I was like, I'm just going to do this. So I learned,
All right.
I finished learning the entire game, got you guys
Wow.
on creating your character, and now I am creating things from notes that I took, because it was the same way of like I was taking notes as I was reading, of putting the notes in a presentation, and we can go through it that way. But to just give you a sampling of the rules, you don't have health in the traditional way that you would in like D&D. You have balance, and you have balance principles, which are kind of two opposed ideals of like friendship and survival.
Okay.
Like, so your reliance on others and your reliance only on yourself to survive. And depending on your actions, you could be brought in either direction. Your balance can shift. That can be stuff. You could do something to shift your balance. Another character or something in the environment can change your balance. If you lean too far in one direction, you lose your balance, which resets your center from between the two. Over
and
one
you're keeping track of this, or
we're all well, your sheet that you have been given has a counter where you can mark and check off. But I will also be keeping track as well.
Yeah.
And that's what like the notebook is for, to jot down any little tidbits and things like that. And and then it moves your sensor across, and like, so that's like a whole thing. And then like how combat works is different from how you are essentially living in the. I know that the only real D&D you've done is like what is the
bullshit that we've done on this show,
which is Chris comes up with something very on the spur of the moment.
Listen, I came up with a pretty damn good one based on Back to the Future back in the day.
But imagine you created a thing where you have the entire world of Back to the Future is open to you, and you can kind of go do whatever you want.
All right.
And then it lasts forever.
Yeah, but then I gotta brush up on my avatar geography.
Well, that will also there will be things implemented into the game to get you up to make that easier on you. Anyway, we were talking about news. Yeah. So PlayStation's releasing a new handheld. There's too much stuff. That was
too much stuff is how I feel. I'm not gonna get it. No fucking way.
No.
The only way I'm gonna get it is if there's like, I don't know, the next Zelda for PlayStation comes out. Like, then I'll get it. But what?
I think you're definitely not going to get it when I describe to you what it actually is, and not what you're thinking it might be.
Oh, okay.
So this all stemmed to explain what happened here. Asus, you're familiar with the computer company, Asus?
When you said Jesus, and if I was familiar with it, I thought you were being cute, And you were literally talking about Jesus Christ.
Asus is the name of the computer company.
Mhm.
They on April Fool's Day put out an ad for a Steam Deck like device called the Ally. And
Okay.
then on Monday the 3rd, they were like, that thing we made a trailer for on April Fool's, that's a real product. We're releasing it. So there's this
So
whole hubbub.
it was a double fake.
It was a double fake out. It was a fake out.
Okay.
Well, I guess if you're presenting something potentially as an April Fool's joke, that's genuine.
Nah,
you know?
but yeah, but it's a double fake. Cancel each other out, then
They
it's
cancel
genuine.
each other out. Yeah.
It's a double negative.
So Asus came out. They said that on Reddit, someone posted in the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, a kind of anonymous post saying that they played with the device. Here are some specs that aren't released, and that Asus specifically, because it runs Windows, unlike the Steam Deck, which runs Steam OS, which is a Linux thing.
Right.
The Asus device will run Windows natively, and they are partnering with Microsoft to push the fact that like you can play Game Pass games on this Asus device.
Okay.
Natively. And part of the reason is supposedly because Asus is aware that PlayStation is working on a handheld device. And that was really the tidbit that the internet started talking about. None of the Asus stuff, just like the idea that like PlayStation could be making a new handheld. They haven't made one since the Vita over 10 years ago. Then Jeff Grubb, who is a kind of insider journalist person, posted, hey, I'm seeing people talk about a new PlayStation handheld. I temper your expectations. It's going to just be a streaming only device. You're using Wi-Fi, things are streaming on a different server, and that is what, like, there aren't games installed on the device. It's all doing it through cloud streaming. And then the website Insider Gaming put out an article that was like, we have even more details on this. It isn't even a streaming from a cloud, like company server side thing. It is using your computers. It is using your PS5. It is just remote playing in, which you can do on your phone. Just so everyone is aware, this is a thing you can do right now on an app on your phone. The idea is that the device has an 8-inch screen, and it uses the one thing that this has over other, like the backbone, right? The phone bracket that you can put your phone in, is that it will have like adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, all of the DualSense stuff, rather than like the backbone or other brackets that don't have that ability. So we'll see what happens with this, but PlayStation does have something in the works, it seems, in the form of a handheld. So now that you know the real truth about what this is, that it isn't running games natively, that it's just doing remote play, doubly not into it.
Yeah, no way. Never. It's a no for me.
It's a no from me. Yeah, I would say, what else we got here? What's in this edition of the news? Pokemon Stadium coming to Switch Online.
Wow.
April 12th. So, Brooke has been asking me every day since they announced that it would eventually come. That she's been asking when is
April 12th?
Pokemon Stadium coming, and now I can say April 12th. And she's going to lose her life to. She's going to lose her life to that game. Yeah, 6 days. You're on the money there. You're on the money. Yeah, and I would say that is all the news for the week. Nothing else major. Let's talk. That is a hell of a face. YouTube.com/Unwrapped podcast to see more of that. Do you have a complaint? What was your complaint that we saved? Remember?
There's 2 complaints.
Okay.
Well, what I thought we'd usually do mail. We don't have mail.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
I like to think that I made Chris think he had to put in the complaint music, only to realize 20 seconds later he didn't.
Okay, yeah, this would have been. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we got. We have a piece of mail from Big Boss Nasty, one
Oh.
of the new members of the Discord.
Mm.
So Big Boss Nasty says, a buddy of mine said he's seen Paramore over a dozen times. What are your Paramore thoughts, Tuna?
The fuck is Paramore?
You don't know about the band Paramore?
Oh,
Come
the
on.
band. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I thought when you said see Paramore, I thought it was a movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
how do you feel about Paramore?
They're pretty good.
Are you in the business of misery?
I will listen to Paramore if it comes on the radio or if it's played in a random thing. Otherwise, I will not seek it out.
You won't seek it. Okay, sure.
No.
Okay, so the question here that we have from Big Boss Nasty is, a buddy of mine said he's seen Paramore over a dozen times, which makes me wonder, what artist or band have you gone to see live most? I personally have seen Fall Out Boy 4 times in my life.
I have not seen any band live more than once.
Really?
100%.
Wow. Okay.
And I haven't even been to that. I can count on like my hand the number of concerts I've been to.
One hand?
One hand.
We'll do it then.
I'm Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, hell yeah.
Taking Back Sunday.
What year did you see Springsteen?
Saw him at MetLife, so maybe 15 years ago.
Okay. So late 2000s.
Yep.
Okay.
Taking Back Sunday.
Taking Back Sunday is one of your 5?
The Revivalists.
Okay. Thanks, babe.
And Tears for Fears. That's it. That is it, folks.
Wasn't Tears for Fears like recent too?
Yeah, Tears for Fears
like,
was last
before
year.
Tears for Fears, you had seen 3 concerts your whole life.
And Taylor Swift.
T Swift.
T Swift rocked it
more. I bet you got so what T Swift would be your best, because that's
Tears for Fears was the best.
Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears is great.
I
really do. And when I say Taking Back Sunday, I went with like Chris and Dave, one of my other friends.
Yeah.
We went in Jersey back when we were like in high school. Yeah. I didn't even want to go see it. Like I just went because they were going to see it. So I was like, all right, I'll go with you guys. Sure.
Oh my God, Tuna. Okay, guys, you have to go become a Spartan sub, because I would love to take Tuna to a music festival and vlog it.
Oh, I'm not going to a music festival.
There's nothing. Misery.
I'm already miserable thinking about it.
I know. Oh, it would be so funny if we went to Firefly. That would be the best. No one would have made content better. I'm telling you right now.
I saw Andrea Bocelli when I was in high school. Does that count?
I mean, it's a live musical performance. Right?
I saw Riverdance in the 90s when I was like 7.
There's concerts that you're not remembering.
There's no concerts. I'm trying to think, are there any other bands that I have seen? I don't think so. I'm not one to go to concerts. I'd rather see comedians or movies.
Yeah. Well, you've been to I've only done like one stand-up thing in my life.
I've done
that was like a hole in the wall.
I've seen but back when the Daily Show and the Colbert Report were on, I went to those. I went to those shows.
I did Colbert Report. I did that one time because my friend got tickets. I went to the episode where he had Baz Luhrmann on for Gatsby, when he did Gatsby. And we all got a copy of The Great Gatsby. But instead of the iconic cover of the have you read Gatsby?
Yes.
The billboard and the eyes, right? Like that's the
classic
cover. Instead of that, it was like Leo DiCaprio, and it was like now a major motion picture. I was like, this is a useless movie. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
What about you? Who have you seen more?
Frank Turner will be the one. Frank Turner, my favorite artist that I talk about often when we talk about music.
Oh yeah.
Punk rock. I have literally The Island Is My Home tattoo is a lyric of his. The Be More Kind is one of his albums. Nothing
like idolizing someone.
I mean, his music I mean, I started listening to him in high school, and it was definitely one of the.
What does this guy look like?
He looks like the most normal white English guy you've ever seen in your life.
Frank Turner. I've never even heard of this guy. It doesn't even come up.
If you Google the name Frank Turner, he 100%
this is your boy.
What's his looks got to do with anything?
He looks like the most generic.
That's what I said.
You did say that.
It's got nothing to do with his looks. It's got everything to do with his music.
The guy looks like I could pass this guy on the street, not fucking know.
Well, of course. But how many musicians could you say that about? If Bruce Springsteen wasn't Bruce Springsteen, you could pass him in the street and not know who he was.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Frank Turner get out of here, Mira. Frank Turner rejected Taylor Swift collaboration because she wasn't right for the record. Whoa.
Oh, is this which song is this about?
I don't know. This was back in 2015.
Yeah, I think there's a song he has with like a country
pop on the upcoming album, well, old album now. Positive Songs for Negative
People. Yeah. Yeah, let me look into that actually real quick, because I can give some more context to that, because I do remember that. Anyway, yeah, I've seen him more. I've seen him. Frank Turner declined label's rubbish idea.
Yeah, rubbish. Yeah, that's the quote. That's the quote. They love that quote. Rubbish. What's this guy like? What's his wiki look? This guy's got tattoos up the wazoo. He's like fucking
he's covered, dude. Yeah. Yeah. So the song is
41. Interesting.
So here's the thing. So the song he's referring to is a song called Silent Key.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a song about Christine McAuliffe, who was on the Challenger, right?
Yeah, I'm yeah.
You're reading it.
Yeah.
The song is him and his band, right? Primarily vocals, and he's singing a fictional situation in which his AM radio as a child picked up the final distress call from the Challenger, and it's about like singing like the motif, I guess, or the emotional resonance of the song is about like how you only have so much time like left in your life, and you don't know how much time you have left, and so you have to like kind of live every moment as best you can. And so it's primarily him, and then a female vocalist comes on at the end of the song to do like the last like quarter of the song. Okay. So I think he's saying like it's a rubbish idea, because why would you get the most popular female artist on the planet to do a tiny bit on like what is not even going to be even close to the most popular song on an album from an English country singer who like means nothing really outside of not nothing, but like compared to Taylor Swift, he's nothing. I think that's why he
I'd say he's probably like what, a C-list musician?
Yeah, C-list is like 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the fuck he is. How do these people make any money?
Well, he tours all the time.
If you're not up there, like how the fuck do you make any money?
Well, he is. I mean, in the sense of like
but especially now,
he's headlining like big venues.
Yeah, but if you're not selling albums anymore,
all the time. He literally like tours. He literally like tours like 200 days out of the year, if not more.
Oh, it's miserable.
And his current tour, well, it's kind of based, I think, in like some of his like vices. But he's talked about like how the pandemic was so tough because he just like doesn't even feel alive if he's not on the road. His current tour is called the Never Ending Tour of Everywhere, and it literally like has not stopped.
Have you met him?
Once. Actually, one of the first shows I went to, and it was literally like. And the other thing is like when you're younger, I think also you're even more like enamored with celebrity, right? And like it was like at a time where I was my most impressionable for sure. And what happened is he was opening for the Dropkick Murphys in Boston, not Boston, Atlantic City.
Okay.
You would know the Dropkick Murphys if I played like their hits or whatever. He was opening for them, and he was running his own merch table because he was the opening act. So it was, a lot of him
So
doing
you
his own
were
stuff.
so you met him before he was like as big as he is today?
He was big. He's definitely bigger today because he did the London Olympics. Danny Boyle, right, the director.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Boyle oversaw the opening ceremony. He was like the director on the opening ceremony for the London Olympics, and he's a massive Frank Turner fan. So he had Frank perform, like Frank does a couple of songs in the opening act of the London Olympics.
So then I've seen him, because I love the Olympics and I watch everything Olympics.
Yeah,
if you
watch the opening thing where they have a bunch of musical performances and stuff, yes, he was in that. That definitely like accelerated him to stardom. He had a huge popular album, I would say, in the mid 2010s, in America as well. So yeah, he's definitely way bigger now. He would definitely probably not open for the Dropkick Murphys, but yeah, compared to Taylor Swift, the biggest artist on the planet, he is nothing. But
he wouldn't crash Ticketmaster.
And the thing is even if I hadn't seen him a bunch of times, in May of 2019, I went to, he has this event called Lost Evenings, which is named after one of the lyrics from his songs, and it is a 4-day mini festival where he headlines every night, does a different set, and will have like a couple of artists perform through the day. Will be like other activities and stuff. He did those 3 years. He did them twice in London, and then he did it in Boston in 2019. And this year he's doing it in California, and we're going to that in September, me and Brooke.
Who asked this question?
And that's a four.
Was this you? Was this
no Big Nasty?
But did you make the handle Big Nasty so that you could talk about Frank Turner for 20 minutes?
Why would I do that?
You would totally.
I would do it more to learn how few concerts you'd been to. I can't believe, and some of the
No, that's not as crazy as someone who's been to like 5 movies their entire life.
Well, I didn't say that.
I know, but you're acting like it.
Someone who's been to 4 concerts their entire life.
Yeah, I got better things to do, man. You know what? You know what my next concert is probably going to be?
Go ahead.
It's probably going to be like Disney on Ice or Sesame Street Live. It's probably the next.
Taylor Swift. Your daughter will want to go to T Swift.
Well, my wife wants to go to fucking T Swift.
Well, there you go.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but you'll have no excuse when the daughter wants to start going.
Yeah.
So yeah, Big Boss Nasty, thanks for the question.
Daughter loves 80s music. Loves dancing to it. I put it on all the time.
You should take it to Mario then. There's a bunch of 80s music in it.
Big time.
She like Holding Out for a Hero? It's in that.
I mean, I love that song.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We do have another question.
Okay, sorry.
From one of our newest members of the Discord to one of our oldest, Epic Neckbeard asks the question, I was recently introduced to the idea of a video game cover. No, not like box art. As opposed to a remake or remaster of a video game, a cover is made by an entirely different studio and has a distinctly different feel. Examples would be like the new Dead Cells, Return to Castlevania, or Black Mesa, which is an indie studio remaking Half-Life 1. Are there any classic games that you would love to see covered by a modern game developer?
I want to see like Rockstar make like a Zelda.
Rockstar make a
Zelda.
I need more details. I think
you need more details. Okay.
Well, yeah.
I think they got to make it. It's got to be a lot of humor.
Is it gritty?
It's got to be gritty. Okay. It's got to be gritty. Link is talking up the wazoo, and it's all commentary. Yeah, it's all
of these Triforces. Yeah.
Yes. 100%. I think it'd be great.
Is it okay? Yeah. A parody
I think it would
game
be
in a way.
And I think we do the same thing. I think we play as Ganondorf, we play as Zelda, and we play as Link. We play as the 3.
Okay.
And then eventually, so we each perspective.
Perspective.
Yeah. just like GTA 5. And we switch on and off. Okay. And then they just start introducing a whole bunch of like vehicles, like but bring it to the future, baby. Bring it to the right now.
So it's okay. All right.
It's Hyrule, but like LA.
Mod.
It's Hyrule, but like Los Santos Hyrule. Like do all like the skyscrapers, but like in Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he dressed in the tunic?
Form of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Guns?
Gotta have guns. I mean, the ancients
So
kind
wait,
of.
is this just GTA though? I want Rockstar to do Legend of Zelda, but instead of Hyrule, it's LA. Instead of Link, we've got a character called Michael. And it's got a friend Franklin and Trevor.
Right.
You play as all three of them.
Yeah.
And there's guns. There's no swords. None of that crap. No master sword.
It's the master gun.
No ocarina. None of that. None of that
saxophone
shit.
or something.
He's just got the radio, and the
Yeah.
radio has different channels that you can pick.
Yeah.
Great. And we'll call it Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh man, that's good though. No, I like that. That's great. Are there any classic games that you would like to see covered by a modern game developer? Oof.
You know what though?
Yeah.
Santa Monica could probably do Zelda really well.
Yeah, and I was actually going to bring up Santa Monica as my developer choice.
Yeah.
But not
Zelda.
Not Zelda. I'm on a Mario kick. No. Oh, now we're cooking, actually. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I tried playing, by the way, that the GameCube game for the Switch. Just
Prime.
the remake. Yeah.
Prime remake.
The controls, I can't do it.
The new controls that are basically like how you play any other first-person shooter.
But I don't play a first-person shooter like that because I play first-person shooter with legacy controls. And if you come out with non-legacy controls, I can't do it.
That's right, you can't.
And that's why I have to. That's why I have to use my trusty, what is this called? Elite controller to change the fucking control scheme because I couldn't play Deathloop until I did it. I know, man. But the thing is, I'm 35 now. I'm not going back now.
That's the equivalent of like putting someone in the wild and then like not being able to handle themselves.
I can't. I cannot. I need legacy controls. I can't handle it.
So you'd greatly benefit from a Sony Santa Monica making a Metroid game because you're not playing Metroid Prime 4. Like you're not gonna get to play Metroid Prime 4. Probably
not unless I can change the control scheme.
Yeah. There you go. But I was going to say a Mario game from Santa Monica. Let's get it.
How? Mario is a platformer. How is Santa Monica doing platforms?
I didn't say it needs to be
God of War.
But I like what I love about specifically the God of War series is that it isn't an open world game, go anywhere, do anything.
Right.
But it is a meticulously crafted, massive open areas. And I think that is where I would want just Mario in general to go. I don't want it to be like open map, go anywhere. It is like you have different worlds and they are big. There's a lot to explore and do. So I think that they, that they have done that very well.
All
right. So there you go.
All right.
Psych Mike just to give a little shout out to Discord, Psych Mike, his answer is let's see Remedy take on BioShock. So did you play Control?
No.
Oh, you'd love that if you ever got the time to play it. But
man, I don't really have a lot of time anymore.
Yeah, Control is fantastic. Them making BioShock is a really, really good pick there. That's all the mail we've got. So let's
go to complaints.
Yeah.
I got two really quick. I don't think you're going to agree with them. So, all right, complaint number 1. You told me that the Institute by Stephen King
Oh,
was good.
Wow.
I agreed. I've been listening to the audiobook.
Yes.
The reader is very good.
Yes.
He's great. The book itself is good, right?
Yes.
I'm liking it.
Yes.
Well, I was liking it.
Oh.
We've gotten to a point now where I'm kind of like, meh.
What track are you on?
150, 157.
Oh yeah, you have leapfrogged me.
Yeah, usually what happens.
And this is what you said. This is what you said you were worried about, is that Stephen King in the modern day is unable to kind of stick the landing.
Yeah,
Has a great premise.
Yeah,
but not really nailing the landing.
Right.
Okay.
I kind of feel, and I don't know how you, hold on. Sorry. I don't know how you feel about this, but the problem I think I'm having with Stephen King in the modern day is that he still writes like these characters are from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're talking as if they're in the 70s. They're like the stuff that some of the dialogue, I'm kind of like, eh. And some of the things that happen in like towards the end of this are kind of dumb. We could discuss more when you get there. I mean, this isn't really a complaint. This is more just like me telling you that was liking it. Now I'm just kind of like,
okay,
on it. It's still okay. Like I'm definitely gonna finish it, but it's just not as captivating as the first half of the book was. All right,
and
but
the first half of the book is captivating.
The first half of the book's great. I mean, I was really liking it, but we're kind of in this period where it's like, all right, let's go. Well, you'll see. Maybe you'll completely disagree with me. All right, the second thing I wanted to complain about was, and I don't know if you're going to agree, I think Mandalorian has taken a sharp decline.
We texted about this.
I don't think it's that good anymore, man. I think it's really boring and like just not
boring. I don't know if boring's the word I'd use.
All right, what word would you use?
Well, it's just inconsistent is the first word that comes to
okay mind. All right, that's good.
From
I like it.
Every standpoint, the story it's trying to tell, the quality of the show.
Yes,
I think. Are you caught up?
Caught up.
Okay. This week's episode, as goofy as a lot of it is, I had fun with it, I think. And I'll say honestly, for me, the weakest one, and maybe this is where we will disagree. The weakest one is the one where they spend the whole fucking episode trying to do an episode of Andor on Coruscant with the fucking clone doctor.
Yeah. No, that missed for me too.
Boring.
This whole season
that was boring.
Dude, this whole season has missed for me. I am like
I agree.
Out of it. I'm just like, I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's that the Mandalorian itself. The show has declined and they've run out of stuff to do, or they don't know where to go, so they're just like doing a bunch of this filler shit and it's not landing, or it's the fact that there's so much other crap out there that I've seen since Mandalorian started that I'm just like, it's all right, whatever. It's I get it's a show for kids, I guess, but then it's like, is it a show for kids? Because there's a lot of stuff going on here that a child is not going to be able to follow. So I
don't think it's built for kids. But what I was going to say was
talking for a show built for kids.
There is one thing that this show is doing so well, that doing well in past seasons, and is maybe the best of this that we've ever seen in Star Wars. The dog fights.
Yeah, those are great.
But like, where is this? The quality of the CG on this is so much better than any of the other scenes. All of that stuff is so fun.
What I wanted to say was Grogu, who? Right? It's like that. Like Grogu's just like there now. It's just like they don't know what to do with him anymore.
Yeah, they give him to Lizzo.
They give him to Lizzo. What the fuck is going on? Actually, you know what? The most tense I've ever and it wasn't a dogfight, but it was in space. Andor, when
good show.
I forget what his name. What is his name? Skarsgård.
Yes,
is not caught yet, but he's stopped by patrol. And there's like that tension there with like the big ship. He's in the little ship.
Oh, and he takes out their radar.
He takes out the yeah. That was great. That was fantastic. And I was like, that is, Andor was a level above.
And I think that is part of the
Ugh.
problem. I think that is part of the problem is that, you know, we've kind of been in, I'm going to say it, the doldrums of
Mhm.
Star Wars for a
Mhm.
long time. And it just felt like maybe this is how it was always going to be when you turned something like this into a franchise.
Yeah.
And especially doing it in a way, I think I think that something that's working to Star Wars' detriment is the fact that it's like, oh, this show takes place 20 years here, and this show is before all this happens, and you
Mhm.
know, we're jumping around the timeline, all this stuff.
Mhm.
But it really did feel like it was just gonna, this is just what it's gonna be. And Andor came out and like changed, like it showed,
Yeah.
I like I said, Andor made me annoyed
Yeah.
that the sequels end, and like that is the story that we go to, because like
Right.
Andor is setting up like this amazing, like
Yeah.
incredible story about rebellion and what it means to stand up to
Yeah.
an unjust world.
Yeah.
Um,
Andor is great, man.
and then it's like,
Fantastic.
well, at the end of all this, Palpatine gets cloned.
Gets resurrected. I mean, that's
somehow.
the stupidest. That is the stupidest thing. That is so dumb. I don't know why. Who said, yeah, that's great. Fuck off. Ugh.
Yeah,
But yeah, Mando.
it's okay. It has its moments. The dog fighting is good, and I think that I am mostly entertained. And it's a shame because I actually thought I thought the whole bit with him in the Mines of Mandalore was good. But it's like the thing with like last week, even when it's like, oh, Grief Karga, we've got to get the Mandalore's got to save the city, and then you see Grief Karga with like a dozen people. Like,
Dude, that was the funniest thing. He was like, okay, we have to get, and then we have to get the
We have to
citizens of
evacuate the
Navarro.
city.
Then not the planet called Navarro. We are the planet.
Yeah.
20 people. 20 people. Citizens of Navarro. You can all hear me because there's maybe 20 of you.
Yeah.
That we're
Granted,
gonna
I think he
keep
is talking about the city of, because the capital of Navarro is Navarro, but
okay, whatever.
yeah,
It's
but still, regardless, it's not much of a
so-
capital when it's like 2 kids, 3
I
men
know,
and a baby.
but it's like that like if you're going, you need to make it believable to me, because it's unbelievable to me
I
that
don't know
somebody
why
would
you'd
have
shoot it that way.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't like I think to the average person, I think to humans in general, like the idea of a galactic empire is almost impossible to fathom. And that's why I feel like Star Wars, like for me, always doesn't, like we always see a couple characters and I'm thinking like, this is a galactic, you're supposed to, this is supposed to be like hundreds of
Galactic.
planets,
Yeah.
hundreds of planets, like, but like one person, like, come, I just can't do it. And then it's just,
And
then like,
and I think that
and
that's
then the
the
pirates
problem.
take over, and then they're just like, hurry, we need to leave, we need to flee the city, and they're just walking out of the city into the barren wasteland as if nobody could see them, and just
Well, I
shoot them
think,
with it's just
I mean, there was
doesn't
some story explanation, because like the thing was like, I'll be waiting for your the pirate captain was like, I'll be waiting for your,
I know, but
you know,
come
all that.
on.
But I agree with you, and I think that the problem is not like, you know, because you don't say this about the original trilogy, right? Despite it being as narrow focused as these shows are. But the original trilogy is also like, this guy just came up with this idea on the fly and tried to like make a movie about it and succeeded.
But
when you
that worked.
expand it, when you try
Right,
to,
but then when you expand
but
it doesn't work.
It works as its own contained thing.
Yes, it
And
does
then when
work
you try
as
and when
yes.
you try to expand it, and
Mhm.
you try and be like, look at all the other stories we can tell. And you're
Mhm.
like, yeah, but all those other stories ultimately all end up being about the
one story.
And like,
yeah. Yes.
So which
It's
is
all
why
about Darth.
Andor
It's all
is
about
great,
Skywalker.
because
Yeah.
Andor isn't
Mhm.
about any of that shit. It is
Right.
about like, even though Andor isn't as big as say
Yeah.
a Mandalorian is, it
Yeah.
feels big because the show makes you feel like these characters are all trapped in the web of this
Yeah.
galactic empire, and
Mhm.
there is no escape. And if you want to, like, you have to pull off you have to use the tactics of the empire and have no remorse. You have to sacrifice all your morals, and even just to put up even kind of a fight. Oh my
And
god,
the-
the Stellan
and-
Skarsgård thing where he's like, I share my dreams with ghosts. What have I given up? I've
Yeah.
sacrificed everything. I
Yeah.
am working to create a
But it
sunrise
was
that I will never
believable.
know.
Like Andor was more
So good.
believable to me, like about what he did and what Skarsgård was doing and what the senator was doing, and like the whole thing of it made it actually.
Well,
I
it
felt like I
worked
was
on a
in.
smaller scope, right?
It
And it
did, but
worked
it
in a
but
way where, yeah.
it felt okay. Yes, it was on a smaller scope, but it actually felt bigger than the Mandal. Like I felt like I
because
was
the
in a
writing
bigger
was-
world.
Yeah,
I
because
felt like
the
I was in a bigger
writing-
world.
Because the writing is so substantial, because it is like, hey, that little thing we did of just like stealing the credits, the payroll, it
Yeah.
has this ripple effect. And
Yeah.
that ripple effect is going to make the Empire squeeze harder on its citizens, which is going to make
Right.
them push back. And so
Right.
when you get to the final episode of like it is just this one act of rebellion on this fucking hole in the wall planet, right? Andor's original planet.
Yeah.
Of just this one town is fighting, but they pour all of the sentiment.
Yeah.
Of,
But that's where that needs to work, because I feel like the human experience doesn't lend itself to the galactic empire, because we live on a planet right now that has 150 something 170 countries, that like you're thinking like, oh yeah, then there's Tatooine that has one
three
cohesive
towns.
3 towns. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to you in your mind. Like it just like for me at least, it really doesn't. Like I can't picture a world that we ever, like thousands of years from now, we start talking to other planets, and like, you know, the things that are China, Russia, the United States, all these countries are all like,
It's just
oh,
one
yeah,
thing.
one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We're now one thing, because now we can't just like our local problems are tiny little local problems, and like I'm just sitting here trying to pay my mortgage, dude. Like that's what it felt like. Andor was like not about mortgage payments, but it was more like, look, I'm just a little guy doing my little things here, and I'm trying to have the most impact I can on
My
like
environment, yeah.
but like they didn't bring in the Jedi, they didn't bring in Palpatine for Andor, they didn't reference. He's building like little tiny pieces of the Death Star in the end. Like it's
dude,
like
that
he's
reveal.
building like these little pieces of the Death Star where there's probably tons of prisons like the ones he was
Yeah.
in that are
Yeah.
making these parts, because the thing is so big.
Fuck, I
So
can't
he's just
wait for
one
the
little
second season
dude.
of this goddamn
He's just
show,
one
dude.
little dude. Like,
He's
and
just a dude. He's
I
just a little
bought it.
dude.
But I bought it. I bought it. Whereas now, and I felt like Mandalorian season 1 was, there was this rogue Mando doing these rogue missions, right? He finds this Grogu kid that's like holy shit, like this is a different thing that I've never seen before. I don't know what the hell this does. Like I need to protect the kid. Little father-son action. Now we're at a point, right, where Bo-Katan is trying to unite the Mandalorians, and now we got to see all that. Like,
dude, last week
Come on,
not
man.
last week, but the week before, where I think the worst episode is the one where the foundling gets stolen by the dragon creature.
it is. I told you this.
And Yoda
he
plays
gets
paintball,
stolen.
but Grogan.
Oh my
plays
god,
paint.
dude! This guy who just trained with Luke Skywalker and Ashoka is sitting there, being like hit by paintballs. Like, what the fuck was that? And then the kid gets stolen, right? The kid gets stolen. Bo-Katan follows.
A whole 24 hours.
24 hours passes, right? Obviously, and you find out he was stolen to be fed to the kids, but for
Right.
some reason it didn't feed him for 24 hours. But he's about to, right when they show up. Like, are you kidding?
But the joke I had to Brooke at the end was when, because they murder like we see like, oh, the mama dragon has like 3 kids. They killed the thing.
I said the same thing to
made-
myself.
I
I was
made
like,
the
you just
joke-
killed their mom?
Well, I was like that, and then I joked to Brooke, and I was like, 3 more foundlings, and then they bring.
They bring them back.
I'm like,
They
"You're
bring
gonna
back
build
the
armor-
little-
You're gonna build armor for these. You're gonna make them wear
You're
helmets.
gonna ride them.
Oh my god! And-
Dragon riding.
And the
It's
bit
hot
when
D.
they get the bit in that episode, they get to
It
the
is
dragon's
so
nest,
stupid.
and the big boy with his Gatling gun is like, "He's my son." How? Explain to me. Make
Yeah.
an episode of you have an episode of The
Yeah.
Mandalorian that dicks around with this clone doctor on fucking Coruscant. You're trying to be an
Yeah.
episode of Andor. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. It fucking
Doesn't
sucks.
work.
You have an episode of that. I need you, if you did an episode of that, I need you right now to do an episode that explains to me how you have sex, because you fucked with the helmet on, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're lying to
Right.
yourself and
Yeah.
the forger.
Yeah.
You made that child
Yeah.
wear it. Like, also the other thing is, I thought maybe when they get to the mines of Mandalore and he dips into the pool of water,
Yeah.
I thought maybe he'd take off a little bit more.
Right.
The helmet and maybe it's just the cloth.
Yeah.
Nope. Jetpack.
Yep.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
The thing. Yeah. What's the bathing suit? Like, I just need you to show. If they did an episode of The Mandalorian, it was like a day in the life of a Mandalorian. This is how a Mandalorian has breakfast. This is how a Mandalorian showers. This is how a Mandalorian procreates.
Or
I would take that.
Yeah. Or Bo-Katan, the armorer goes like, well,
you can take your head off. Totally.
But before she takes the hat off or the helmet off, she's the armorer is like, so Bo-Katan, did you bathe in the waters of the well, yeah. I mean, I dove in to save the guys. So okay, and have you taken your helmet off since? Great, you are in for
no
fantastic.
Yeah. Din Djarin, we need you to like bring proof back, right? You need to bring a sample of the water in order for us. Bo-Katan, have you taken your helmet off since? No? Okay, we'll take your word for it.
wait. So he goes back. He goes, I bathed in the waters. The guy goes, bullshit. Bo-Katan goes, no, I was there. Right? You just have two. Then the armor goes, you jumped in too? Yeah, I jumped in. But then,
have you taken the helmet off?
Then 48 hours later, the armorer goes,
like,
please move your helmet. Take your helmet off.
It's fine.
We need to see this.
The people. It doesn't really matter.
We need to see your face. And eventually, Pedro Pascal is going to have to remove his helmet because he's becoming a pretty big star now. So we need his face front and center on this bad boy. He is going to be the big uniter. He is going to be the main. He needs that helmet off now.
Which is so funny because they had the opportunity to do that at the end of season 2.
They did.
They had and then they were like, no, we're going to commit to the fact that he is so steadfast in his ways that he's going to keep the helmet stays on during sex.
Then he did literally has to. Right. But now he did Last of Us, and then he did that SNL episode, and now people are like, Pedro Pascal, pretty great guy, take that helmet off.
Well, do you think he's just voicing this thing?
I think he is just voicing it.
Yeah. He can't be on set doing all
No, come on. He's Pedro Pascal.
Especially this week's episode where they're chasing the droid, the super droid or whatever.
Absolutely.
And
ridiculous.
He's running around in that armor. I was like, there's no way. There is no way that is Pedro Pascal doing all this.
My favorite part was I think it was either the armorer, Bo-Katan, I don't remember who, but somebody put something on a table and you could tell that the person in the mask had no fucking idea where it was because they put their hand down and they missed.
Yeah, dude.
They moved.
So that is the other thing about this season of the show where they have, because Pedro Pascal has also gone on record saying like you can't see anything out of that helmet, which is the thing is like this.
Again, it's such a stupid.
And for some reason, you also have a slit here.
Yes.
It doesn't go anywhere. Like it's not even for eating. It's just because that's
just a design that somebody put on Boba Fett back 50 years ago, and now you have to use that.
Tuna, you have to go back and watch the episode with the dragons because the moment. Or is it the episode where I don't know if it's the dragon episode. It might be the episode where he comes back with Bo-Katan and they both get like officially reintroduced to the clan, and everyone is kind of going around like patting each other on the back or like shaking hands with each other, and it is just like you just see people like missing, like trying to like grab each other's. Or like pat Bo-Katan on the back of the person. It's just like this. Oh, dude, it is very clear that no one on that set knows what's going on anymore.
No way.
And that is the problem because it was like, let's have Baby Yoda, who's a puppet, do paintball and we're gonna stick this thing on his wrist that doesn't even fit, and then we're gonna have him do against this kid who clearly can't see anything because he's constantly like trying to shift his helmet. Like, where's the puppet? All right. Oh man.
Also, I love when the armorer makes Grogu like his little armor,
and it's meant to be his shoulder plate, but it's not big enough for him,
It's
so
not
we have
big.
to just slide it into his thing. How is that staying in there?
Who thought that was a good idea? Because that also looks stupid as fuck. Like
Oh,
it just
dude,
looks so
yeah.
stupid. Like, come on, what is happening to this show? It's so stupid.
And you know what the thing is that I still like I'm enjoying myself, and like the thing is like when the puppet does the flips and stuff, I'm still like they committed to it. That's fun. But the problem is it also exists in the same universe as Andor. You know, like how am I meant to like compartmentalize?
I don't
these?
know. Oh, it was so funny. Like literally when I was watching this latest episode,
Yeah.
right, and we get to see Christopher Walken. Christopher
Christopher
Walken.
Lloyd.
No, Christopher Lloyd.
Spoilers, but fucking Doc Brown is in this.
Doc
episode.
Brown's in it.
Oh, and he's trying to do the soliloquy about Count Dooku, and he's like, Count Dooku was a visionary.
I cannot believe you even brought that up. Fucking like, are you serious? So he brings it up, and then what's so funny is that when
he has even one iota about any of that.
No.
Yeah,
no.
it came across.
I always wonder about like
Count
shows
Dooku
like this.
was cut down in his prime.
Count Dooku was cut down in his prime.
That's pretty good.
But like for me, when so two things. Number one is like when they were going around questioning people, and it was like, where were you on the night of? Like, are we watching Law and Order? What the fuck just happened? Like
that's
Stabler,
what your text was about. Yeah,
it's
and
fucking
cameos
Stabler
galore.
Yeah, there's cameos galore. It's fucking Olivia Benson and Stabler just like going around asking questions about people, and then it's Christopher Lloyd. Like it's him. Like he's the bad guy, right? Then he comes back, and you found me. Like, serious? And then fucking Jack Black is it? Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, what is happening? Was Jack Black just on the set and they were like, well, we have Lizzo, so throw Jack Black in there.
And again, I didn't mind. I thought that cameos were fun and like they committed to it, but the problem is that the show is trying to do that and be a serious drama at the same
You
time.
can't do that though. Jack Black is not the casting choice for a serious show where you're trying to be,
and he's not playing it seriously. He is playing it like Jack Black.
He's playing it like Jack Black,
which would be fine if this show. And I said it.
If this show was Star Wars the video game, it would have been great. But it's not Star Wars the video game. It's The Mandalorian.
I tweeted out when they did the Coruscant episode, and it was trying to be like, hey, we can do serious shit like Andor.
Dude, that was so bad.
I tweeted out and I was like, The Mandalorian is trying to be like Andor, and it needs to stay in its lane. Just do what you are good at.
Yeah.
And then the goofy stuff will feel a little bit more at home. But the problem is it's trying to straddle two lines of like, we are trying to do this like political, the new order, right? They're building towards like the new order rising. The complacent, we're trying to talk about like the complacency and the like the New Republic is and it's just not landing. And then it also makes all the goofy shit stand out more. I'd be way more on board for the goofy shit if you didn't try to have all of this other like the messiness of bureaucracy leads to complacency, which leads to the rise of fascism. Like, just leave that for fucking Andor. Anyway.
Yeah,
I really don't know how we ended up on. Oh, it was a complaint. You were just complaining about the Mandalorian.
I was just complaining about Mandalorian season 3 not being all that in a bag of chips.
It's not all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah,
disappointingly. We're gonna do a little quick game before we get out of here.
All right,
if you're good with that.
I don't have work tomorrow.
Oh, very nice. Easter Friday. I got a Mario quiz for you. We went from Elden Ring to a Mario quiz.
Mario!
So we're going to do a little Mario quiz here for you. And
you think Chris is still listening? Or
that would be problematic behavior. All right. Question 1. In which game did Mario make his first appearance? And these are all multiple choice.
Oh, okay.
In which game did Mario make his first appearance? Super Mario Bros., Wrecking Crew, Donkey Kong, or Mario Bros?
Donkey Kong. Is it Wrecking Crew?
Oh, it doesn't. It's not answering until the end. So we'll find out at the end.
We'll find out at the end.
Number 2. What was Mario originally known as in Donkey Kong?
Jumpman.
Jumpman. Number 3, before becoming a plumber, what was Mario's occupation? Baker,
Ooh.
chef, electrician, carpenter.
Carpenter.
Okay.
I'm only saying that because of the hammer.
4, which is the only Nintendo game in which Mario is the antagonist? Donkey Kong Jr., Wario Land, Super Mario Bros. 2, Yoshi's Safari.
What was the first one?
Donkey Kong Jr.,
We'll go with
Wario
that.
Land, Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah. You know, for being a plumber, he doesn't actually do a lot with water.
Well, watch the movie; it'll change your
All right.
mind. Yeah,
All right.
a lot of water in various spots. I can't wait to see it again. Honestly, if you want to go see it in theaters in Long Island,
in the theater,
in theaters in Long Island, you let me know.
what are you drinking there?
Coke Zero with rum.
Oh, rum.
Brooke has made Jello shot Easter eggs for Easter.
How old are you?
Family's thing. It's not for me. We're going to a family thing. So it's not even like for us to do it.
All right.
This is a thing for her family.
All
so
right.
she bought a huge thing of rum to make these, and it turns out you only need a thimbleful. And she has made me several very strong drinks.
I mean, I've been aware as we've gone on here.
And I've rambled.
Keep going. Okay.
In which NES sports title does Mario appear as a referee?
Oh, I know this.
Well, do you want to answer before
Punch Out?
Okay. That is one of the options.
Yeah.
This Mario this Mario Odyssey outfit is a reference to which NES game? And for the image that it is showing me is Mario in New Donk City in Odyssey, and he's wearing like the kind of like American Stars and Stripes outfit. Do you remember that?
Okay.
Yep. So that's a reference to which NES game? NES Open Tournament Golf, Ice Climbers, Famicom Grand Prix F1 Race, Pinball.
I'll go with pinball. I have no fucking idea.
Shit. This is an image one as well.
Did you spot check this before you did this? What is the image?
Well, it's doing multiple pages, so I couldn't even. I would have to go through the whole quiz anyway.
All right.
The image is all right.
Well, it's a podcast anyway, so you might as well describe it.
I can share my screen. What am I doing? Let me share my screen.
Yeah, but can the podcast people? You're gonna have to describe.
If you go to video, youtube.com. Yeah, but you are the only real need. Oh, Chris is doing stuff. He's sharing the audio thing.
All right, what is
it? I'm gonna text you.
Oh my god.
You're gonna not believe the image though. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck? All right. Okay. Where is Tuna? Okay. All right. Sending. All right. So the question is, the above screenshot is from which version of Mario Bros? Commodore 64, Apple II, Amstrad CPC, Tuna's face, youtube.com/Unranked podcast to see Tuna's reaction to that. The above screenshot is from which version of Mario Bros? Commodore 64, Apple II, Amstrad CPC, or Commodore 64, Atari Soft. So I guess there were multiple versions of the game.
I'll go with Atari.
Okay.
Wow.
What was the name of the Virtual Boy remake of Mario Bros? Mario Clash, Mario Bros VR, VR Mario, Mario Bros Special.
I think I'll go with Mario Bros VR.
Okay. How many Goombas appear in Super Mario Bros. World 1-1? 10, 13, 18, 22.
18.
Which worlds in Super Mario Bros. Lost levels take place at night? 1 and 6, 2 and 4, 2 and 7, 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Obvs.
Obviously. Is that the last one? No, we got more. Super Mario Bros. 2 was adapted from Japan only Doki Doki Panic. Which event was the original Gizane? When saw the question
What?
at the top. Super Mario Bros. 2 was adapted from Japan only Doki Doki Panic. Which event was the original game designed to help promote? Space World 87, Dream Factory 87, CES 87, Tokyo Game Show 87.
Tokyo Game Show, baby.
Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario Bros. 3 featured in which 1989 film starring Luke Edwards, The Wizard, The Newsboys, Mother's Boy, or The Yarn Princess?
The Wizard.
I'm assuming so, because that was a Nintendo movie, right?
I thought so.
Which of these is not a virus from Dr. Mario? Dizzy, fever, chill, or faint?
Chill.
What is the minimum number of exits a player needs to find to beat Super Mario World? 1, 6, 9, or 12?
6. 9.
I clicked 6.
Oh, whatever.
Yoshi's Island was one of only 3 SNES games to use the Super FX chip. What were the other 2? Doom and Winter Gold, Star Fox and Doom, Comanche and Vortex, Stunt Race FX, and Dirty Tracks FX.
Dirty Tracks FX.
Please be no. Okay. I just don't know how many questions are in this. Hopefully,
Oh my god.
We're on question 16. Which Nintendo staffer voiced Princess Peach in Super Mario 64? Samantha Kelly, Katie Segovian, Kate Fleming, or Leslie Swan?
What was the question?
Which Nintendo staffer voiced Princess Peach in Super Mario 64? Samantha Kelly, Katie Saigon, Kate Fleming, or Leslie Swan?
Fleming.
In which language are the names of Super Mario Sunshine's levels? Italian, French, Portuguese, Spanish?
Spanish.
Which popular Japanese candy are Super Mario Galaxy's star bits based on? Mochi, Konpeito, and Mitsu Akumaki?
B.
Konpeito. Which Mario 64 level reappears in Super Mario Galaxy 2? Bomb Battlefield, Tall Mountain, Womp's Fortress, Tiny Huge Island?
Womp's Fortress?
Okay. Hopefully this is the last one. Which organization criticized the Tanuki suit in Super Mario 3D World for being pro-fur? The RSPCA, PETA, Last Chance for Animals, Animal Aid?
Going with PETA.
Yeah. The villains of every story.
Yeah.
Super Mario 3D World shares a death jingle with which other Mario game? Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario 64, or Super Mario 3D Land?
3D Land.
That makes sense. What does Mario dream about if he falls asleep in Super Mario Odyssey? Peach, pizza, pasta, or plumbing?
Plumbing.
In I Am a Teacher, players could design and actually buy what item of clothing featuring Mario? Socks, a t-shirt, a sweater, a baseball cap?
Say that again?
In I Am a Teacher, which I guess is a game, players could design and actually buy what item of clothing featuring Mario? Socks, a t-shirt, a sweater, a baseball cap?
A baseball cap.
Okay. The Game Boy's Super Mario Land takes place in which kingdom? Mushroom Kingdom, Sarasa Land, Subcon, Cramalot?
Mushroom Kingdom.
Donkey Kong replaced which of these characters in Mario Kart 64 before it was released? King Boo, Bowser Jr., Magic Koopa, or Birdo?
Say that one more time.
Donkey Kong replaced which of these characters in Mario Kart 64 before it was released? King Boo, Bowser Jr., Magic Koopa, or Birdo?
King Boo.
Oh my God, there's more questions.
Dude.
Let me see. I'm just going to click through a bunch of random ones, and we're just going to focus on the first 25 that you answered.
I've already answered 25 questions?
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't say like how many questions there are. Oh my God.
Dude, I really gotta lose some weight.
What do you mean? Are you looking at photos of yourself?
No, I'm looking at me right now.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, maybe 35. It might be 35 because that was the last.
35. All right, rapid fire, go.
No, I'm literally like now on like I'm just like clicking through to get. I just want to get to the results. We just get to the results. Does it show me at the bottom or something?
Jesus, I scrolled back. I scrolled back to pictures of me when my daughter was born. Holy shit, I really have gained. I've really let myself go.
You've
that
gained
dad
weight
bod
since.
Oh my God, if you look at pictures of me when she was born, I was really skinny.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. God damn, I've really let myself go.
Haven't we all? Haven't we all?
Jeez.
Please let it only be 50. I feel like this has to be. This feels like the end. God, 51.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're not going to score it. What we are going to do, we're just not going to score it. If you feel like scoring it at home and sending us how many you think I got correct,
tell you what, you score it.
Then we will accept it, and closest to the real answer or the majority will win. So if I got one correct according to everyone, we'll take that as well, or 0. But that's it. All right, thanks for listening to the Unranked podcast. That was pretty on brand, let me tell you. Would have expected it.
I really wish
wouldn't have expected anything less.
It didn't have a number in the thing. It didn't even say like the top 50 questions.
Yeah,
it was just like
yeah.
All right. Thank you everyone so much for listening. Go check out the Discord. It's in the show notes. Go participate. Go join Cheese and Big Boss Nasty. And maybe check out becoming a Spartan and sub if you're interested in such things. Tuna, I'm sure you don't want anyone to find you, so we're not going to make you go through that. I'm pretty calm on everything, and until next time, stay unranked.
Suck it.